Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, and so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show. Booyah.
Oh, yeah.
We're halfway home.
Hey.
We're hump day, baby. We're hump day. Welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Tyvus in the hot seat.
Hey.
What kind of shoes you rocking?
Oh, it's the He Got Game 13 today.
I've seen those before.
Yeah, these is if
That's
you
a
ever see.
repeat.
You said you've never repeated shoes.
I've never wore these.
He didn't.
Oh, really?
And
you kidding me?
I wore the black and red.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, right.
I'm
Yeah.
I've never wore it.
Gee, do you have these same shoes?
Jesus. See, this
These
is
the He.
Those are my-
Have y'all ever seen the movie He Got Game?
Those are my favorites right there.
Those are the ones.
Yeah, Jake Shuttlesworth.
I like the Flints. I got them, man. I got them, but I don't got them same exact joints. Though.
You got a white scuff on your toe, bro.
I seen that too.
You better clean that up.
And he's a cheater. You see how he's cheating? This guy gonna say, "Hey, I'm done with the competition."
That's not what I said. No. I said I'm done with the fashion
I'm
competition.
done.
The
This guy.
shoes is going.
This guy.
The shoes is going. I can't.
You thought you had a white flag,
but I got shoes for
He
days.
waved the white flag.
On the fashion,
I
yeah.
came in the barbershop zip up, and this guy comes.
I'm wearing the Cleveland
Okay.
t-shirt. I'm wearing the show shirt.
All it takes is once.
She's wearing old man New Balance today.
No, these is not. Stop playing. Stop playing with me. Don't play with me.
He does not wear the wide New Balance.
Do
You
not
can't.
play.
No, them is called the Air Monarchs.
You traded yours in for Brooks. I
Brooks,
see.
man.
Yeah.
I want you
Yeah.
to
Very
get some
nice.
Air Monarchs.
Bull.
Hey, I wear shoes for comfort, not
Hey,
style.
Bull wears like a size 10, but it's like a 10 wide.
Yeah, the
He got
wide.
the Fred Flintstone
Dude, no,
wide.
man.
It's a double XL trailer.
Yeah,
on,
look,
Here we go. Looking sexy.
The boys.
12 and a half double E
That's
or
great.
5E.
In what universe are we looking sexy right now?
Looking sexy, baby.
He owns it.
Yeah,
Bull
yeah.
Do you?
Let me tell you something. On those, for the ladies who like the big guys, I'm top of the charts right there.
He said
On top of the
he said he's
charts.
an ABB, an athletic big boy.
That's right.
ABB.
That's
ABB.
right. Ladies love it.
That's his definition of ab.
Yo, yeah, he's like, yeah, baby.
Athletic. Oh,
The ladies
busy show
love
today.
it.
We're going to come to you, McNuggets, in 1 second. Leroy Hoard, Robert Smith. So you got the OSU Michigan running back combo. We're playing true or false. I saw you slip the name by accident into the rundown.
I'll tell you why I
Bad
said.
job.
Did you cheat?
I'm automatically claiming that the winner cheated.
No.
Nope,
we
because
don't
I did.
cheat. No
Did you
cheating.
look? Did y'all look?
I
up?
can't even remember who the player was
I don't
right
remember,
now. Oh, it's Greg
It was,
Newsome, I
no,
think.
it was Greedy Williams.
Oh, Greedy Williams. No, I
Is
did
he
not
still
look.
on the Browns, by the way?
He's on IR.
Does he count?
He on IR.
I'm being a wise guy.
And we're doing 60 seconds with
his
Isaiah
job
Mobley.
do look legit.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
McNuggets, was that any good, the 60 seconds with Isaiah Mobley?
It is good, yeah.
How will it compare to yesterday's, which was off the charts?
Mobley he was a good character, good
Okay,
fun guy.
good. All right.
And much closer to 60 seconds than Robin Lopez.
I like the
All right,
Robin
yeah.
Lopez, though.
Robin Lopez was definitely a nice
Excellent.
piece.
Jetty Osman and Dean Wade are probably the two funniest we got.
Yeah,
coming,
Jetty,
so.
I know he's got personality. I'll look forward to that. But today it's Isaiah Mobley. What business do you want to take care of off the top?
Yeah, so I went to the Post Malone concert yesterday.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out to
Did he fall?
Anthony
Did he fall
for,
in any stage holes?
He did not fall in any stage holes.
Have
He
you guys
did,
seen that video?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Tag board that. I know it won't have audio. Tag board that video, dude. It is scary.
Yeah, he fell
He
down. He
fell
broke
in the
3
hole?
ribs. He
Yes.
had to cancel his show in Boston on Sunday because
and
he couldn't move.
A lot of people thought he was going to cancel last night. Dude, when you see this shot that he took, you talk about a body blow. All the air left his body instantly.
Wow.
He fell in a hole in the stage, but landed really on his ribs.
How did that happen? Like,
I don't know.
I'm sure they got
I'm
a
sure they
lawsuit
sued that
coming.
venue. What venue
Well,
was
about
it?
to say,
By the
they
way,
got a-
I don't get the whole cover your face in tattoos thing. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not down
I
with that
mean,
either.
whatever. That doesn't make him a bad person. I just can't understand why anybody would put tattoos on their face.
After McNuggets go, I'll explain that.
Oh,
Okay,
explain
McNuggets.
it.
So I'm at the show yesterday.
Yes.
Once again, Anthony's friends were super cool. Hung out with them.
So you went with his friends
with
because
his
he gave
friends
you his
'cause he
ticket.
couldn't go. Yeah.
Is he back today?
Anthony is back.
Gamer.
Let's-
Gamer, bro.
Anthony's
There he
back.
is.
Yep,
We
got
needed
him
him.
back. I do want to say, though, we have a giant box of T-shirts upstairs that we have to start giving away.
Okay.
And with Anthony's friends yesterday, 2 people stopped me as we were walking the seat saying, "Hey, you're McNuggets, right?" So now here's the thing:
Wow.
if you recognize me
It's
in
like a
public,
celebrity.
If you recognize me in public, DM me on Twitter. I'll send you a T-shirt. It's gonna be a "Where's Waldo?" but "Where's McNuggets?"
Oh, that's
you find me in
fire.
public,
That's a great
I will send
idea.
you a T-shirt.
All right, good.
So
Now we should tell everybody that you will be out in public tomorrow at the Guardians game
I
as
will
we
be out in
collectively
public
throw
tomorrow
out
at the
the
Guardians
first
game.
pitch.
Yeah.
We are doing that, and this goes for any time. I have, I think, 96 T-shirts to give away. So
96.
we got a lot. We ordered a lot for us. Yeah. So
Okay,
if you
good.
see me in public, you got to DM me on Twitter with your address. I'll send you a T-shirt.
Very
Easy as
good.
that.
I almost think you should
how
throw
they- how
a
they
bunch
gonna-
of them in your backpack tomorrow.
You should make them take a picture with you and then send
Oh,
you
that's
and tweet it and
Good
put it
idea.
on social media.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
anybody, Joe Blow can just say, "Hey,
Yeah,
I'll send
I
you
saw
in
you.
public,
I
and
saw.
here's my
Yeah,
address."
that's a good
No,
idea.
but I'll
they
have
have to
to-
come up to you,
And they have
take
to
a
get his-
picture with you, and post it, and they get a free T-shirt.
Done.
Right.
Done.
Or you're
gonna
going to
regret
take their
this.
info too, right?
No, yeah, there will be some sort of. I'll give him a code.
Yeah.
I'll give him like
Right.
DM me Anthony,
Okay.
and
Right.
if you send me Anthony, that means you know that you're the person I met. You get a
Yeah.
T-shirt.
All right. That's cool. Very nice.
right, very
very
good.
nice.
There we go.
Did you find the tag board of Post
Yeah, let's take
Malone?
it, Steve. Take
I
tag
shouldn't
board.
laugh. It's really not funny.
He put on a killer show yesterday. by
He
the way.
does. I've heard he does a great show. But watch this. See the hole in the stage?
Oh, ow!
Yeah. There's another angle of it too.
Oh, that looked painful.
He broke 3 ribs. Like he legit broke 3 ribs.
Oh.
He took his shirt off yesterday. His whole midsection's bandaged up. Yeah.
When was this?
This was like maybe 10 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Last Thursday. Yeah, less
Okay.
than a week.
Yeah.
So what's with the face tattoos? You have an answer
It's
for
just,
this?
we didn't just, so the face tattoos is this. So when you look at young rappers, right, and
Yeah.
artists, right, I said this in my documentary like 2 years ago. The reason why
He's a rapper?
you got
I
a
thought he was a pop
documentary?
singer.
oh yeah, I got a documentary. Part 2's coming out too.
I thought he was a pop singer.
Where
not a
where can
rapper.
we find it at?
You can find it on YouTube.
Like 30 for 30 style.
Yeah.
Look
Really?
at this. I'm a
By the way, the Yanks Dodgers 30 for 30 last night was
I didn't see
great.
it yet.
It was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah?
So
All right,
good.
go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
so basically, like if you're a rapper, right?
Yeah.
You know how you got a plan A. Everybody got a plan A. And
Right.
somebody say you got a plan B and
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
other stuff. But if this don't work out, see, it's so competitive with rappers, and rappers don't have no other outlet. They ain't going to school. They like football players. They ain't going to school. They got felonies.
It's like I'm all in because I know I can't get another job with a face
right. If
tattoo.
you tattoo your face,
Yeah, right.
you about that. Like
You can't-
there's nothing.
you're giving up on life.
You are not doing nothing else but rap.
Or you better get ready to say for a living, welcome
Yeah.
to Taco Bell drive-thru.
I don't,
Right,
even
right,
think
right.
that- I don't think they let you
But
do
wait a
that.
second.
maybe
I
not.
thought he was
They'll put you in the
a
back
pop
of the
singer,
cage.
not a
Yeah, I
rapper.
just said, you can't-
He's a rapper, Post Malone?
Yeah, he rap.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
I
raps.
thought he was just a pop
No,
artist.
Post Malone is
everything.
one of those. He's one of those
He
guys.
does it all.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that has a unique style.
Yeah.
Very good artist. I wouldn't call him a rapper.
Yeah.
He got some good lyrics, but he makes good music.
Yeah, he
I
does.
actually heard he was on Howard Stern recently, and I heard some of the interview. I didn't hear him talk about the face tattoos, that part. But he seemed like pretty interesting guy.
He is one of the people that is collectively accepted by both black people and white people.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that group is pretty small.
It's very small. Like,
I'm in that
Very
group.
small.
Very.
Eminem
I'm
is
in that group.
That's
Let me,
my- that's-
Vanilla Ice is not in that group.
No.
Clear that up right now.
How about Eminem?
Eminem's there.
Eminem's in that
He's
group.
there.
Absolutely.
You can see Machine Gun Kelly in a house party with a bunch of black people or in a rave party.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't because he's skinnier than Tristan McKenzie.
No, he'd still be there.
He'd be there.
No, I mean, you wouldn't. He'd be there, but you wouldn't see him. Was my point. He's too skinny.
Yeah, well, it all depends.
You'd see his girl.
Yeah,
It was a
you
failed
see
it was a
his-
failed
he was
attempt at a
there.
joke.
And
Good
then,
one.
there's a
Definitely
level
won't miss
above
her.
that is by
Yeah.
the people that are known by just one name. If they, you just say their first name and you know who they are, that's the next level past being
Or you
accepted.
could be one name but multiple names, like Diddy. Like you could have 5 names.
Yeah,
Puffy.
Puff. Yeah,
Daddy, Puff Daddy. Like
Jay-Z got like 10 names.
Hov.
The
Snoop.
Jay,
Slim.
Yeah.
Speaking of Snoop, has anybody? We're way off track, so we'll get off this for a second.
Yeah, we are
But
way
has
off
anybody
track.
seen that funny Corona commercial with Snoop?
Yes,
and,
and the can.
yeah.
The Slim.
What's his name?
And he start rapping.
Andy
yes,
Samberg.
Andy
Oh, yeah.
Samberg.
Well, he's got
That's
the other
incre-
ones with the Slim can.
Oh, no, I'm
goes-
talking about the one with Andy Samberg, where Andy Samberg starts
Yeah,
rapping.
that's good, too.
And he said
That's
that was incredible.
They have a series. They have a series
Yeah.
of those two.
That's
but
that's
the
a
ones
great.
on the Slim cans are good too.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like, so they can name their new can Slim. That used to be my name. You better ask somebody.
That was a good
He said
ad.
they might as well call him Snoop Can.
Shout out to Snoop. Shout out
You guys
to
ready to
Snoop.
talk a little football?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'd
Let's
rather
do
talk
it.
about Snoop,
Yeah.
but okay, if we must.
We're gonna break down today Browns offense versus
Yeah.
Falcons defense. Just before we start the conversation, a couple of numbers to give it context. Browns defense, this is amazing. They're ranked 5th in total offense. 5th. Falcons
And they want to
defense-
fire the defensive coordinator.
No, I'm sorry.
no,
Browns
Browns
offense.
Oh, I
Offense.
thought you said the
Yeah,
defense.
yeah, yeah.
I may
Offense.
have. I may have.
Right.
Their offense is ranked 5th in total offense. The Falcons' defense is ranked 25th. So it looks like, because we talked on Tuesday, yesterday, that this
That's
might
based
be one
on
of those
yards.
games. Total yards.
Total
and it's
yards,
3
yeah.
games, and it's really a hogwash stat.
Right.
The difference between 25th and 5th is a couple hundred yards.
Right.
Okay.
Could
But
change in 1 week.
Right, but that's where it is right
Yeah.
now. The interesting thing to me is we had talked yesterday about how the defense at the beginning of the season said, we've got to carry the torch for 11 weeks.
Yes.
Now it looks like Myles Garrett, we don't know if he's going to play Sunday, but it looks like he's certainly not a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
He's got a shoulder issue. He's got a bicep issue. He's got some bumps and bruises. But is this going to be one of those games where the defense doesn't have to stand out and the offense can just get this done, outscore them 30-27 or whatever, and move on?
I don't know about that. I don't, because I think that the Atlanta Falcons have some pieces that can be problems. Like Drake London is doing really well as a rookie, but he's not even the guy that I'm worried about. If Myles Garrett doesn't play,
Yeah.
it's going to be a problem. Because Myles Garrett, although he doesn't have statistically, he's not doing anything because they're double teaming and triple teaming him.
Yeah.
What a lot of teams are
Freeing
doing,
other guys up.
Yeah, what a lot of teams are doing is they're keeping their tight ends in the chip block and then release. If you telling me Myles Garrett isn't in and Kyle Pitts doesn't have to chip block,
That's big.
Now it's a problem.
Yeah.
And on top of that, JOK's banged up. JOK would have been perfect for Cordell Patterson if he ran routes out of the backfield or anything like that, because you got a safety type body that plays linebacker who's actually athletic enough to stay with Cordell Patterson.
Yeah.
But if he's banged up and he can't go, now that's a problem. So now you got Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts. Cordell Patterson came off of his best rushing game last week with like 141 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Pitts got going last week.
He's averaging 6.2 yards a carry.
Yeah, so it's
That's
it's a little scary to me. Miles, I know we thinking longevity,
Yeah.
and I get it, but your presence, just your presence out on the field, will be missed if he's not there.
Sure.
It's a sprained shoulder and a strained bicep.
Yeah, and I don't know what the
and then
difference
some bumps and bruises.
Do you know what the difference is? Anybody?
No.
Between a sprain and a strain?
Yeah, I mean,
I would say
it's probably
I
grades.
don't- I'm
of-
not sure.
it's a grade of a tear.
Yeah,
Like,
it's or a
Right,
pull.
right, right.
yeah, or pull.
So I'd be surprised if he plays. I think we'd all be surprised if he plays.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
I mean, he's Myles Garrett. He was carved out of a mountain, I think.
Yeah.
But so you never know. I won't count him out until we know for sure.
I'd rather
but-
long play it.
Yeah,
I'd rather
and-
long
make
play
sure
it
he's
too.
But you know he's going to want to play.
I don't
he's
like
that type of guy.
I don't
but-
like bicep strains because
No,
bicep strains turn into bicep tears.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
then
you got
he's out
TJ
for the year.
Yeah, then you got TJ
But
Watt
here's
part
the thing.
2.
This game is weird to me for this reason. I know you guys have been high on the Falcons defense. I'm not. I don't think it's that good.
They only got two guys on. Oh,
Yeah.
no, AJ
I'm not
Terrell
high
and Grady
on
I
Jerry.
mean,
I mean, they're ranked
No,
25th.
offense.
Okay,
Their offense, I think, can
I think it's okay, but like they still don't have a good quarterback. Marcus Mariota's not very good.
He ain't doing bad this year.
I mean, he's got as many picks as he has touchdowns.
This is the
so-
thing about it, though. This, and I thought about this last night. What's the one thing that we was worried about on defense for the first 2 weeks? Communication in the defensive back row,
Yeah,
right?
right.
When you play a scrambling quarterback, you don't want to play man. It's the Michael Vick effect.
Yeah,
Michael,
right.
they playing man, they're not playing you, so run the ball.
Yeah.
And Marcus Mariota still has that running ability, which he does. That'll be dangerous. So now you're almost forced to play zone all game so you can have eyes on the quarterback.
and you're
so
gonna
now
get no
they
pressure.
really have to communicate.
Right. Plus, you're going to get no
And
pressure.
now you ain't gonna get no pressure. So
Right,
yeah,
and that's the thing.
That's the
Do you
problem
think they'll
that I'm
play man?
scared about. I think they're gonna have to. They have to sprinkle it in a little bit, but
Yeah.
you're gonna have to.
Not as much as last week.
Yeah, no, it can't.
but
Because
guys-
Marcus Mariota go for 200 yards rushing.
Here's the weird thing about this game is that both of these teams' offenses are built to run the ball and throw short passes, not throw it downfield.
Right.
So running the ball, because they both can run the ball well, and neither team can, well, the Browns, because of the injuries, probably won't be good against the run, and we know the Falcons are terrible against the run. So both teams are going to want to run, they're going to throw short passes. So even though both defenses, the Falcons defense stinks and the Browns defense is a problem this week because of the injuries, I don't know if it's going to be a high-scoring game because I think the clock's going to run a lot because you're going to see short passes and runs, and that makes the clock go. I don't think there's going to be a lot of deep downfield
And
throws
you would
by
think
either team.
that plays into the Browns' hands with a
well,
running clock.
Yeah.
As long as they can control the ball and
The
have long
Falcons'
drives.
defense got, like, the Seahawks, who don't have a good running game, ran all over him last week. Between Penny and Travis Homer and the rookie, I can't think of his name right now in the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker. They ran all over them. And they got run all over in 2 of their 3 games against, the first week it was Alvin Kamara. But, the Falcons will not be able to stop the Browns' run at all.
I'm going to go out on, it ain't even a limb. I'm going to say this. They ain't going to be able to stop the pass. I'm telling you right now, Jacoby Brissett is good, bro. Let you know that right now. He's good.
No, he is.
No, he's not good.
No, he's good.
He's a backup quarterback.
You can.
He's playing good.
Hey, you can transform. It ain't no rule that say you can't.
How many quarterbacks all of a sudden become good at 30?
Put it to you this way.
I saw Kurt Warner go from playing in the Arena League to dang, that's Kurt Warner.
I would tell
Not
you.
saying he.
Yeah,
Kurt
but we've
Warner.
had a long body of
But that
work
wasn't at
of
30 years
Jacoby.
But I
old.
would tell you this. Really, any quarterback that's under Kevin Stefanski's system tends to do pretty well. I mean,
I thought everybody was blaming Kevin Stefanski and Baker.
Nick Mullins came in.
That's a great point.
on a Raiders game in a COVID game.
Had
and
Case
he
Keenum
played
looking
really
good.
well. Yeah.
In Minnesota.
There's different levels of good, guys.
Well,
there's different levels.
Good.
Every quarterback that's played under Kevin Stefanski's had pretty good seasons.
Bull,
or
let's
games.
drill down. So
Yeah.
good. Is that top 10? Top 16? Where you're top half?
Right now,
Top half.
Right now, he's
So
playing.
wait a second. You're telling me that if Jacoby Brissett played the whole season, you think he'd be a top 15 quarterback in the NBA?
Well, he gonna play the majority of this season.
Come on. You guys out of your mind.
Hold on, watch this.
Yeah.
Watch this.
You guys are out of your
Are
mind.
you not watching it right now?
He's 2 games.
Three.
He played like crap in the first game.
And he got a bunch of pass interference calls too.
Let me ask you this
Titus,
question.
he's played 2 good games. Let's not get carried away here.
If he plays great this game,
You don't see the
and he's throwing the ball.
If we're going to throw around the word great, let's
I
say
said
good.
great.
You said good.
I said
Okay.
good. Yeah.
He hasn't played a great game in his career ever. Great.
He threw 4 touchdowns.
He threw
no
4
interceptions
touchdowns.
once.
Okay, once in his
He has
career.
one
Sorry.
great
All
game
right,
in his
that's all.
career.
One time.
It
But
showed that he has the ability.
But what is he, 28 and 32 as a starter?
Guys, I'm just saying let's be realistic about how he is. He's playing well. I give you that.
But I'm saying,
what
is going to fall apart?
But don't turn him into a top 15
What did we say
quarterback.
that was blasphemous to you?
You're just saying he's going to be a top 15 quarterback. The guy's been a backup for a
What
reason,
is he?
no?
What is he?
What, Kevin? 2 weeks ago, we're all saying Kevin Stefanski should be benched as the play caller. Now he's some genius?
Wait a minute.
Give me a break.
Right now, Bull,
Yeah.
where would you rank out of 32 quarterbacks? Where would you put him?
Based on how they've played the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or if I were starting a team today, where would I put him?
Off the last 3 weeks. There's 3 weeks.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not watching every other quarterback to do it off the top of my head. But, they're like, what's his name? Aaron Rodgers didn't have a big game this week. You taking him over Aaron Rodgers?
He's not.
Of course not.
Aaron Rodgers ain't playing with. No quarterback is playing really well.
I think Adam's calling
Yes,
you
they
guys.
are.
If you think
prisoner
about it,
of
Tom
moment.
Brady
I'm just saying,
Tom Brady's not playing great. Aaron Rodgers is not playing great. And he's
There's
just
plenty of
2 of the
quarterbacks
greatest
playing
quarterbacks
great.
we've
Josh
seen.
Allen's got over 1,000 yards in 3 games.
That's Josh Allen.
Hold on.
You said nobody was playing great.
Joe Burrow threw 4 picks in the first.
I know he played a bad game. Would you rather have Jacoby Brissett?
Yes.
No,
He
now
ain't-
stop
he
it.
ain't turning the ball.
Stop
He
it.
ain't turning
Are
the
you
ball.
out of your mind?
Let me ask
And the worst
Man,
take in the
Bull-
history of UCSF.
Wait, I got to give Bull credit here.
I didn't say that.
I've got to give credit. Bull just deftly, like an attorney, backed you into a Perry Mason moment. And you took the bait. You took the bait. I know you were. Don't go there.
Come back
I was
over here.
all in. I couldn't come
Bull
out.
just made you say you would take Brissett over Joe Burrow. Congratulations, you just passed the bar.
He baited
No,
you.
listen. The truth is, Jacoby Brissett for the last 2 weeks has done exactly what they've wanted him to do. Perfectly.
right. Yeah.
But I think we got to be realistic
We
that
do a
every
little
time
bit.
he's played a lot, his play starts to go downhill. Now, maybe it won't happen this year. Maybe it won't. But in the past, when he's been exposed over
Bull.
time, his play has gone downhill.
But I will say this.
Yeah.
The reason why this is different is because this is the best O-line he played under.
he played for the Colts. They had a great
They're
O-line.
not like that. It's not like this.
No.
The Browns get
G-Bush.
on the ground.
He's doing this because the Browns have the #1 run offense.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so if there's always a question, chicken or egg, everybody's like, you've got to establish the run before you can pass.
Yes.
What we're seeing here with this offense is They are not just a threat to run it. They've proven they will run it down any team's throat.
The Browns have
what does that do to the back end of the defense?
Makes you stack the box, clears up the pitch.
And that makes short throws with an accurate quarterback suddenly look like Joe Montana.
The Browns have an all-time great running game.
Yes.
All-time great.
And that is led to Jacoby playing
yes,
better.
any quarterback is going to be helped by this system.
How many times is they asking him to throw a game? What is he average? 20?
28.
And
No, he
still,
was 22
the
of
bottom
29.
line is he's played well for 2 games, very well. But it's been 2 games against the Jets, who are awful, and against the Steelers without their best player.
That's fact.
Facts.
Right?
That's true.
And I don't want to crush Jacoby. I'm fine with him playing. He's played better than I expected. I think he will continue to play at a solid level. But when the competition gets better, it's going to be harder for him to.
Do you need to see it? If you need to see it against the Buccaneers, the Bills, and if you see
if he plays at this, like he ain't never going to play like Deshaun Watson can play. We all know that.
No.
Right? But if he can play at this level against Kansas City and Tampa Bay, not every game, because you're not going to play well every game.
Right.
But if he could play consistently, fairly consistently against the better teams,
They'll
I'm
get to
tell you-
6.
I'm gonna tell you
They'll
what
they'll
I-
get there where they need to be.
I'm gonna know about Jacoby Brissett when this situation comes. If the Browns, God forbid, if the Browns go down 14 points and it turns into a 7-7,
Right, then they're in trouble.
and now the ball, he has to make the
give
throws.
Well,
and everybody knows it's passing
then
down.
it's trouble.
Then we gotta.
You know what that also does, though? That neutralizes the run game.
Exactly.
And
Right.
all of a sudden
It's
now
him.
it's going to be
Yes.
on his shoulders.
Exactly.
But they haven't been in that situation
Not at all.
No, now
Yeah.
they were in that situation for a minute against Carolina, and he made 2 terrific throws.
Yes, he did.
He got some help with one call
With the
and
penalty.
maybe some help with a non-call.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, that's the only time we've seen him under
Have to throw.
absolute pressure. Now,
Yeah.
yes, in the Jets game, he had 22 seconds. He did throw the pick.
Yeah.
It was really the only bad throw he made all day.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. When they're down 14, this team is not built to come back from that.
You're right. And I'll go with a step further. I heard Ross Tucker on the radio yesterday.
Ross is great.
He love him to death.
Yeah.
He said love him. He says if Jacoby Brissett is 9-2.
Man, kick rocks with that, man.
stop.
I'm tired of I'm tired of people.
You see how
Don't
he
even
already
finish
started?
the statement,
He
man.
said if
'Cause I'm
they-
sick.
he
I don't
said-
care if Jacoby
First of all,
Brissett
He said
is
if
10-1.
No, it gets worse.
Yeah.
He said if Jacoby Brissett is 9-2, there's no way
Cut it
you
out.
can hand the ball to Deshaun
Cut it
Watson.
out. Yeah,
First of
There's
all,
also no way they
240
go
million,
9-2
or
with Brissett.
240
First of all,
million
they gotta
reasons why
cut
beyond the absurdity of
They
that
gotta
statement,
cut
and I
this
love
out.
Ross Tucker.
I love Ross.
Cut it out.
The Browns ain't going to be 9-2. We all know the Browns are not going to be 9-2.
I don't care
Well,
if they
what
was
if they
10-1. They
What-
not.
But even if they are,
Yeah.
I don't give a rat's ass. Deshaun Watson is playing.
Now,
I don't know why
the
people
pundits will
really
say,
doing that.
why are you going to mess with that chemistry?
What you mean?
Those people are idiots.
They gotta cut. Listen, these is the same people that praise, oh, Josh Dobbs season. Oh, Josh Dobbs is
Yeah,
this
well,
guy.
we knew what that was.
And
Let
if
him-
you like Josh Dobbs,
Let him be Tom
Deshaun Watson is Josh Dobbs with 10 times better. Like, what are you talking about?
Let Jacoby Brissett beat Tom Brady.
G. Bush, what are
They
you?
would riot.
G. Bush, so what are you're Kevin Stefanski? They're 9-2. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm rolling Deshaun out there.
I would be sick to my stomach a little bit because despite what people saying, oh, it's a great thing to have 2 great quarterbacks.
No, it's not.
That's that Old State syndrome.
You got 2, you got none.
Y'all got 3 quarterbacks. That worked out terrible in the 4 years. They had to move one to receiver. The other one didn't go to the draft. No.
Yeah, it was messy. It got messy.
I would have to have Deshaun Watson.
Of course.
I'm already
By the
down
way,
the road.
percentage chance the Browns are 9-2.
2. 2%.
Less than 5.
12.
Let's do this.
12%?
0.1.
12.
I'm saying point
And
one.
the Browns are playing really good football right now. Every team around the country.
Are they, though?
They are.
Are they?
It's not bad. I mean, they're up.
There's a big difference between playing really well and not bad.
You know what? The only issue.
They're acceptable
The
right now.
only issue the Browns have is finishing games
Special teams,
and special teams.
secondary, defensive interior. Injuries.
At the end of
second
it,
receiver.
wait a minute.
A second receiver.
Out of everything he just named,
Yeah.
how many games have the Browns started the fourth quarter leading?
All of them.
Exactly.
Look who they've played and who they're going to
Unfortunately
play.
for the Browns, the game doesn't end at 3/4.
Yeah.
Look at the graphic on the screen.
Yeah, look at that.
This tells you everything.
And
You know what?
It's
That
really
is
a
really
shame.
impressive.
It's-
Okay. Is it fair to say that the 4 teams they've played, including the game coming this week, are against amongst the worst 10 teams in
Yes,
the league?
they're in the
right?
bottom 10
Yes.
for sure.
Okay. Well, after that, the next 7 teams you're playing, 6 of them are probably top 10 teams in the league.
You're right.
So
At worst, top
are y'all
15.
saying that they don't have a shot against
No.
these teams?
They
We're
don't
saying
know.
let's wait and see.
They don't have a shot to go 9-2. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be 9-2. I doubt there'll
Tyvus,
be
you
any
missed
team
this
in the league
yesterday.
that's 9-2.
So there's 32 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to get your mind around this.
Okay, I played for a quarter of them. Go ahead.
I know you have. You got a lot of hats in your closet. Bro, there's 29 teams
Okay.
that are 2-1 or 1-2.
Okay.
There are 2 teams 3-0, and there is 1 team 0-3.
And that 0-3 team is probably not terrible. They'll probably
No,
win.
and the
Raiders.
2 teams that are 2-0,
We're 3-0.
Philly at 3-0, Philly and Miami, nobody had them as the last undefeateds.
True. No.
Nobody.
True.
No.
So what we're saying is the league is mediocre salad
Yeah, that's
right
right.
now. Nobody has
Because
emerged, not even the Bills.
everybody's still trying to figure things out.
You know why? Because nobody plays in the damn preseason. That's why.
That's it.
I bet you nobody's.
That's a fact.
I would bet there's nobody that's 9-2.
That is
After
and
11 games.
You know,
Not
they
one
want,
team.
They
There
want to
might
get
be.
rid of preseason games. They want to do
Nine-
just joint practice.
nine-
It might as
9-2
well
is
because nobody
hard.
plays in the
9-2
preseason
is
game.
stiff.
they can't do
Even if they had Deshaun Watson, I wouldn't pick them to be 9-2. Their schedule's tough. I don't think anybody in the league is going to be 9-2.
Listen,
I really don't.
There usually is a team 9-2.
There's usually one.
Yeah.
But
to
I'm
go
saying
back and
this year, I
answer
don't
the
think there will be.
question, when Deshaun Watson is eligible to play, he's playing.
Of
Why?
course.
Why? Because he opens up a whole different set of your playbook. I think
Yeah.
right now the playbook is kind of limited. With Deshaun Watson, you can open up quarterback. You can order up RPOs,
Bro, Jimmy
read
Haslam
options. It's all this other
will
thing.
stroke out. He will stroke out if Jacoby Brissett runs onto that field in Houston
Hey, yo,
to
bro.
start the game.
Hey,
He will
facts.
literally
Facts.
be done.
First of all, they would never do that.
And then we're stuck with
never.
You
then we're
know-
stuck with JW.
No, because you see, this is what you'd see. They'd take Haslam for a reaction shot in the press box, and he'd be like this.
Listen.
Get me Stefanski now.
Listen.
I want
That
my $230 million
that
toy
game-
on the
Go
field.
give Jacoby Brissett some rebates and get him the hell out of here.
There's no way that they would jog Jacoby Brissett. First of all, the TV ratings is gonna be through the roof for that game, and ain't nobody tuning in.
And
to
the
see
Texans
Jacoby
fans
Brissett
would be
versus
caught off
Houston.
guard. They'd be booing, and Brissett would come out.
I'm gonna tell you what. You gonna have people. You know people in the city. You gonna have if he plays.
Oh, they definitely.
By the way,
yeah, they gonna say that.
We shouldn't even be having this conversation because it's stupid. But 6 weeks from now, we're going to look back at this conversation and say, "Do you believe people were having?"
Right. We'll go back.
You never. It's a tricky league. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, do we think he can continue to play at this high a level? That's the question.
This is the thing.
Because he is playing above his
So this is the thing.
arc right now.
What I'm gonna tell you is this: Amari Cooper looks like the Amari Cooper that we all thought.
Right. For
Back
one
when.
game, he did.
But no, for the past two couple of
He
games.
he just ain't had get the chance to get the
I think
rock.
he had what, 1 catch, 3 catches,
But he
9
had-
catches.
It was a long.
But
one.
this is
Amari?
Amari.
Yeah.
had-
He has back-to-back 100-yard games.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what are you talking
Okay,
about?
all right.
Yeah.
Shoot me down.
Anyways, Amari Cooper is looking amazing. David Njoku has looked amazing.
Now, Joku for
Now,
one
you
game.
will give
For
me-
one game.
Joku was
For one
MIA
game.
for
For one
2
game.
games.
Okay. What
Although he's a
I will
blocking
say
machine.
is this: as a defensive guy, defensive coordinators are going to say, we have to stop Amari Cooper. Okay.
He's your poison.
If Amari Cooper is stopped with two players on him at all times,
Who steps up?
Exactly.
Who is it?
That's the question.
But that's my question
And
to
that
you.
would
Who-
slow down Jacoby Brissett.
I say it's the only other guy that's really shown anything, and that's DPJ.
And he's not getting much separation.
Exactly.
No, he's not.
So
but
that's
he's going to have to step up because it's
so-
not going to be Schwartz.
That's what I'm saying. Answer your question. It was slow. If defenses scheme up Amari Cooper and they find a way to stop the run and they put the ball in Jacoby Brissett's hand and Amari Cooper's not the option he can go to because, like he said, Amari Cooper gets a lot of separation. I don't know.
And by the way, what is this level? I mean, he's averaging less than 200 yards per game.
No, here's what he is right now,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
He's the starting pitcher that comes in and gives you 6 innings every time.
Yep.
And he gives up a run or two and keeps your team in the game.
yes.
don't
And
want
that's what we
nobody.
need him to be. We need him to give us quality starts. And
Yeah.
here's who he is, really.
He's the soft tossing
He's a
fourth
high
starter.
percentage check down Charlie who's not throwing the ball more than the sticks down the field. He's throwing
Right.
10-yard passes down the
And
field.
Right.
And you know what?
But he's
with
never
this run
been
game, that can be enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's completing about 2/3 of his passes, which
He
is
is.
way higher
He's
than
never done
any
that.
time in his career. Can he play like he's played the last 2 games? I don't.
Not
I don't
consistently, I think
I
you're
What
saying.
game is y'all worried about though? Like,
Well, listen, the competition gets real in a minute.
okay, yeah, okay. So after Atlanta,
After Atlanta,
who's
it gets.
next?
Well, you've seen the
The
schedule.
Chargers.
Is it the
You've
Char-
got the Chargers. You've
Okay.
got the
The
Patriots.
Char- but the Chargers don't
You've got
look like
the
they-
Bengals, the Ravens, the Buccaneers.
I'm not worried about the Bengals. The Chargers. The Chargers don't look like the team that they were supposed to
No,
be.
because
though.
Herbert's hurt.
And it's just not looking like everything's
I
clicking
think-
right now.
Titus, you're making it seem as if the Browns are playing some magnificent football right
I'm
now.
not saying they
They're
are.
not.
So what I'm saying is nobody is. So if they
Titus,
have a
Titus.
chance to beat a team, it would be now. where
Nobody
they have
is.
nobody
because
figured it out.
What I deduce from the first 3 weeks of the season is it's actually been the preseason.
But there are guys
I
playing
mean, they're
good
working out.
football.
Everybody's working out kinks.
Who's playing good football?
The Dolphins, the Patriots, the Eagles, the Bills. I know the
Okay,
Bills
so-
lost
so-
this week, but their
okay,
offense
So,
is
so,
great.
so here let's bring Leroy. Ask him.
Leroy will settle it.
Leroy, you tell us if he
like
can
you
keep
can't
playing
start like
this.
Jacoby Brissett when
First
they're
of
playing,
all,
they're
first of
playing
all.
better teams.
There it
It's
is.
going to be
Hold on,
harder.
hold on. Let me stop this lunacy right now. Okay?
Someone has to.
And here's how I'm going to stop it. Why is everybody so consumed with how teams used to be?
Okay.
What does that mean?
Keep talking about it, because you
That
sound like
means
you
that-
you
that
sound
means
like you're on
that
my
if-
side.
If all these teams are either 1-2 or 2-1, why are you giving them so much more credit of being good than the Browns?
Talk about it, Leroy.
Because their preseason
I don't know what you're
just
talking
ended.
about. Who?
Who cares about the preseason?
No, that's what the first 3 games have been.
Leroy is a
That's
smart.
the new preseason.
Leroy, you went to the team up north, but you a smart guy.
I don't
man.
understand what.
Hey.
You a smart
I don't
guy.
understand who he's defending
know
or
what?
what he's arguing against.
He's-
I don't know.
He on my
let me
side.
explain something.
About what?
Hold on.
About these.
Let me
Y'all
explain
worried
something to
about
you.
all these other teams.
He gonna
You
break
just said you'd take Jacoby Brissett over Joe Burrow.
You
Is he
backed me
defending
in
him?
the corner. I wasn't ready.
Hey,
I panicked.
Hey, drill down on that. Leroy, drill down on what you're saying. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Leroy.
And by the way,
Yeah.
if that's what you claiming I agreed with you with, that's a lie. Okay? So I don't want to see no scroll on the bottom of the screen. I don't want to see none of that. Talking about Leroy said Jacoby Brissett was better than Joe Burrow.
I didn't say that.
You on
He
the
got Perry
island by
Mason.
yourself.
Leroy, he tricked me. He tricked me.
He got Perry
Here's what I'm
Mason.
gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say about the Browns.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why, first of all, I said before the season started, and y'all remember this, Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners in the league.
Yes.
I told y'all this.
Yes.
And the one thing that he was going to give any quarterback that plays for the Browns is separation. So Amari Cooper's being who he is. One of the reasons why he's being able to exploit that even more is, as you guys say, single coverage. But let me ask you this. Who you going to double Amari Cooper with and stop Nick Chubb?
That's right.
That's the
Nobody.
problem.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
problem.
Okay, so let's take it back another step and do this. If you roll the coverage to Amari Cooper, okay, then those other guys don't have to be as open.
Right.
They're gonna be open because they got a whole bunch of field to operate in. So there's a method to all this madness that allows Jacoby Brissett to be the best version of him. But it all starts, as I told you, when the season started. I don't care who's the quarterback. The Browns are going to win or lose based on how they run the football and how they play defense. If you start there and then add a top 5 quarterback, and then add an excellent route runner, and then add a tight end who's dominating the middle of the field, and then add some other guys that can catch the ball, you become that much more dynamic. But you have to have a starting point. What's happening with all these teams that you think are going to be good that have struggled, is they don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah. Identity check.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Don't get caught up in your ego and think the only way you can win a football game is by scoring 35 points. If you looked at the point totals in the NFL, they are all really low.
You are right about that.
What I want to know.
Okay?
Why,
Guess
Leroy?
what? Guess whose hand that plays into? That plays into teams who run the ball well and play sound defense.
You're absolutely right.
This is the question that I have. I literally just said almost all of that, and it was World War III up in here. But
well,
you
because
said
you also
was the
said that
packaging.
you would take Brissett over Burrow. So all of that.
It's all about the delivery.
Your packaging.
Your delivery ain't right.
I just think we.
Your delivery ain't right.
Good. Yeah, all right.
You gotta have a delivery.
You gotta have the.
What you mean?
You gotta have the preacher mentality.
I was passionate. I was saying why.
I'm just saying you
I literally said all of this.
It's too early in the season to make sweeping judgments about who's great.
You're right
and
about
who's, you know,
that.
it's
But,
early.
hey,
I mean,
Leroy,
it just
I
got
have a question
calm
for you,
up in
Leroy,
here.
because you touched on something that's kind of been a theme for us this week,
They don't respect
and that
me.
is that it all of a sudden is becoming this defensive league. You're seeing quarterbacks like Rodgers and Brady and Mahomes and Josh Allen, even though Allen put up big numbers, they're not making the pinball machine go. And we've talked about it yesterday a little bit. It almost seems like the league is starting to overcorrect from this, 40 points a game mentality,
Good.
where perhaps they're spending more draft
I'm
capital
glad.
on defense, or maybe it's just they're figuring out schemes to stop these quarterbacks. Or is it just that nobody plays in the preseason anymore, and it's taken the first 3 weeks for them to work out
or
the
a
kinks?
coincidence that it's 2 weeks and,
I don't
guys,
know.
no,
I'm asking
let me
Leroy.
tell you.
That preseason
You
thing bothers Jay.
guys watch sports.
Bothers me.
You watch all different sports at all different levels. And what is the one thing that'll destroy a team more than anything?
Money.
Making you one-dimensional. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, when this offensive boom first happened, it was all about creative ways to get the ball outside into your playmakers' hands and whatever. Then it became all of a sudden just chucking the ball down the field and trying to make big plays all the time.
Right.
And so you're going to have, if you notice, your upper echelon offensive teams are not the teams that have the 70-yard plays. It's teams that go 15 plays down the field.
Like the Browns
And be
have.
consistent. And be consistent. And so when you look at those offensive teams, they may not always score 30, 35 points. But I watched it this past week. Man, I watched one of the most incredible games I've ever seen for this reason.
Ohio State versus Wisconsin.
You just shut up, Leroy Hoard.
That's how you control the crowd right there, man.
Control the crowd. You can control the crowd by singing a song that ain't on your album. That's what you just did. We came to see you do your hits and you singing cover music from another band. That's what you just did.
Rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What was the game?
What
What was the second best game you watched?
So the Buffalo Bills had 90 plays of offense.
Yeah.
And the Miami Dolphins had 40.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's
And talk about the time of possession swing.
That's
The
crazy.
time of I never saw Miami run offense.
I haven't either. It was unbelievable.
I'm still waiting. But guess what? When they did,
They scored.
It was awesome. But so you look.
Mike McDaniel.
So this is gonna cause. Look, this is changing the way we look at numbers in a football game, because with teams not being able to get the ball in the end zone, you can have 500 yards of total offense. If you only score 17 points, that's a win for the defense. Damn the numbers, damn the yards.
Yep.
So, and this is what's happening throughout. You see these teams move the ball up and down the field, and I'm going to tell you, here's how it starts. The next coach that puts his quarterback in shotgun on the 2-yard line should get fired immediately.
I can't stand that.
I
You know
agree
what?
with
Urban
you.
Meyer started that nonsense.
Wow.
You can't do it.
Wow.
I'm telling you as a running
Used to
back,
drive me nuts.
hey, when I'm on the 2-yard line, as soon as the cadence start, I'm like,
Why you gotta bring Urban into this?
He did it. No, he didn't.
Why Urban gotta do?
I'm trying to get every bit of energy I have to have momentum to get the yard or two because there's so many bodies, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you in the shotgun, your running back got to take a sidestep while everybody else on the football field is moving forward.
Yep.
So the next time, I'm telling you, because every time I see the quarterback throw from the 2-yard line, nothing good happens.
Yeah, it's a whole riot in Seattle.
By the way,
over
is
there.
scoring actually down?
Right.
Do we know
If
this for a
you
fact,
are
or are we just
offensive
guessing?
I
coordinator-
just feel like it.
Feels like scoring is
I feel
down.
like it.
Because I'm trying to find. I'm like, I think you guys are all out of your mind. I don't think
No.
defense is any
Put the
better.
phone down.
I mean,
What did the Chiefs score? What did the Chiefs score Sunday?
Bull,
What did the Bills score
Bull, look
Sunday?
at
but
this.
he's looking at one game. The
Bull,
Bills.
Chargers?
No.
Josh Allen's got
Bull.
over 1,000 yards in 3 games.
And he lost,
Bull.
what, 17-14?
But he's 2-1. It's one game.
So?
Yeah,
Bull,
go ahead.
Bull, here's the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
You're doing exactly what I talked about. You looking at all those yards. You looking at all the stats that these teams are putting up.
about
and
points.
I'm looking at the score doesn't fit the stats. What's going wrong?
But it's a small sample size, Leroy, to say that. To say
3
that
weeks.
First of all, but
That's all we do.
Is scoring
That's
down
what
from
we
last?
do.
Does anybody
That's
know
what
for
we
a
do.
fact that scoring is down from last year?
No,
or are
look
we
it
just
up.
saying
Wait,
that?
look
I
it
don't
up.
know.
Look it
I'm
up.
trying to find
Look
it,
at
Mike.
the
Can you guys
scores.
see if you can find that?
I'm
Wait.
working on.
I'm
Leroy,
trying to
too.
find it if it's
Hold
actually
on.
true.
I just watched the game where a team had 500 yards of offense and
That's one
scored 17
game.
points.
I hear you. But that's an unusual
Look around.
situation.
Look at the league. Look at Tampa Bay and
It's
Green
early.
Bay.
It's
Okay,
early.
hey, I got your numbers, Leroy. I
Go
got
ahead.
your numbers.
Let me hear
It's
it.
through 3 weeks, but points per team last year was 23. This year it's 21. So it is down
There you go.
2 points.
So 2 points. Okay, and it's early. It's 3 weeks.
Or
So
10%.
you're telling me
If it
teams are going to start
happens,
scoring more?
if it,
And it's also worth noting, Bull, this
Yeah.
is the lowest 20. It's only 3 weeks.
There you
but
go.
yeah.
21 is the
Okay,
lowest number
but we can't
since
turn it.
Since
2005,
No, I'm not. Bull.
2006.
Bull,
Okay.
All I'm doing,
That's a long
all I'm
time,
doing is
16
making.
years.
Yeah.
Hey, Bull.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is making an assessment of where football is right now. That's it.
Right,
That's
I
it.
hear
I'm not
you.
saying it's going to
Back him
last
into
all
a
year.
corner like he
Right,
did.
that's all
But
I'm
I'm telling
saying.
you, if I just said something happened that hadn't happened in 16 years, can I get some damn credit?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you get credit.
Credit.
You get credit.
16 years.
And Leroy,
16 years.
No, he's right.
But like-
16 years.
okay.
So the stat means something.
It does. I agree with you. However, Jay's saying like, well, maybe his defense coming around. You can't make that judgment based on 3 weeks.
Listen, it wasn't just me.
I'm
Collinsworth
about to
made the
say,
point
they
on the
said
Sunday
that,
night
yeah.
game.
Collinsworth's an idiot. Who cares about
Collinsworth
him?
is the best. He's the best color guy in the NFL. Maybe now with Herbstreit giving him some
He's
competition.
a Bengals homer.
Wait,
Screw
wait,
him.
So
Wait,
they
but-
both are actually. Both Herbstreit and Collinsworth are
Herbstreit
Bengals
is.
homers.
Herbstreit's
And so are
killing
you.
the Browns.
Wait a minute.
This is
I'm
why-
not a ho-
this
no,
is
I
why-
am not a
Right.
homer.
no, Leroy, I got a question real quick. This has nothing to do
Yeah.
with anything, but
Yeah.
I know you are in Miami. You cover it. The butt punt. What
geez,
was
that was
like?
horrible.
I need to hear
I'll
your
tell you what.
reaction to this.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Tyreek kills him.
You know when you watching special teams and you hear the thud?
Yep.
They go boom, boom.
Oh, we got a block. You're like, and then you look at the film and say, did he just kick him in the ass? Yeah. And so I was thinking like this. So I'm thinking like this. Just smart football, like at some point this had to be discussed, right? You on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
The punter already lose 3 yards, so he got to come and kick it quick. Why is he backing up? If any of the action happened where you are, it ain't good.
Yeah.
The only
Should that up back be going forward?
the only
So
thing that
I
was
don't know why he was backing up,
The o-
but it worked out because it went out of the back of the end zone.
Bro, what'd you do to your left hand?
what happened to you?
I had surgery.
What happened?
So my thumbs don't work for you wondering why I couldn't hold on to the football? Here you go. You ready?
Thumbs
Look.
don't work.
Oh, that's
They don't.
disgusting.
That looks
So-
awful.
So it never really bothered me. Like I was cool because I had enough surgeries, and I was like, it's not really hurting. I'm losing some strength, because I don't have any stability because the tendons aren't there. But then but then I had trouble holding the golf club.
Oh,
that's
It got
we got to
serious.
get
then.
maybe Tyvus needs thumb surgery.
Here we go.
Where's the video?
So you said you openly admitting that you threw a club is what you saying?
No, you don't know. I'm to explain the technicalities of a golf swing to you is spinning my wheels, but you need some support with the thumb during your swing.
So
and
you
when you
get
don't
both
have
of
that
them
support,
done.
the club.
I want to give Director
So-
Steve a shout out because as soon as he said I was having trouble holding on to the club, within a half a second, Steve took a tight shot at Tyvus.
He also asked if we had the video saved in the system.
Of course he does.
Please,
because
we
he's
don't.
Steve.
We don't, but we will after this.
We don't need to see it ever again.
So
By the way, it would've
I
been
have a they fused my thumb, and then went into my hand, took the tendons, put them back where they go, and I have like 4 pins in my thumb.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
So, but
feel
guess
better.
what? That ain't the worst part of it.
You can't play
I
golf
gotta
for
have
6
both
months.
of them done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta have another one done. I'm gonna wait till next year though, because I'm gonna tell you what, this
So
ain't no joke.
You got to have one
We got
hand
you.
free to take care of business.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I'm ready for that golf match any day now.
Pause.
What are we doing?
Bulls
Hey,
out
you're
of
supposed to
pocket.
go directly to the video after somebody
would've
say
got
something like
there.
that.
Bull out of pocket.
No, I got it.
We just skipped it. We just moved along.
Yeah, keep it moving.
By the way, it's a shame that Mark Sanchez wasn't on the call of that Dolphins game for the butt punt because he had the famous butt fumble.
Yes,
Remember?
he did. Yes, he did.
Oh, hey, but guess what?
Yeah.
We got one NFL player that was let off the hook this week.
Who's that?
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, they
Was
talked about
let
that
off
in the
the hook
broadcast.
because Jimmy Garoppolo
Stepped right
made
out
a
of-
run for it.
It was actually a good thing he stepped out because he threw a pick 6.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? Do these quarterbacks realize that there has to be a reason why the people stop chasing them?
Yeah.
I guess not.
Where'd the pressure go?
You step out the back of this zone, they stop chasing you. Did you think they just gave up?
Hey, Leroy, at one point in time, I said it earlier, they jumped all over me. I said, I physically, I think Nick Chubb might be better than Emmitt Smith. They was like, what? Emmitt Smith? You can't put that on his name?
Here,
I'm with
no,
you.
let me explain something to you. Emmitt Smith was an unbelievable back, but the circumstances that he played in helped him tremendously.
Sure.
Okay? And that's not taken away from anything that he's done because he did it for a long period of time, and there's a reason why he is amongst the elite to ever play the game. Okay? But when it comes to a thing, a thing that separates you from all the other guys that play your position, right? When you think of Barry Sanders, couldn't touch him. That dude just make you miss if nobody was blocked. We all consider, I personally think that Barry Sanders is the best running back to ever play.
Oh,
Wow.
Jim?
For this reason. He didn't have the benefit of having a great offense or a great offensive line.
Jim didn't either, did he?
Who?
Jim Brown? He had a great offense.
But Jim Brown was 240, dude.
Yeah, and that was 1,000 years
He
ago.
played
Who knows
against
who was
linebackers
good?
that were 215.
Right.
Jim Brown played. We don't know. I mean, Jim Brown was so long ago. The Browns had great teams back then. They had.
They
Yeah,
won championships.
but think
Man,
about
I looked at
this.
Jim Brown's highlights.
What
them
Nick
DNs
Chubb-
is right in the backfield when he get the ball.
Yeah, but they all weighed 210.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm not taking nothing away from Jim because he's one of the greatest too. But let me say this: there's a difference, and Tyvus, you know this when you come up through the ranks of playing football, right? When I was playing Pee Wee, the weight limit was 110, and I
Yes,
was
sir.
109 3/4 toting that thing.
Oh, you cheat.
Right? Terrifying
cheating.
all the little kids in my neighborhood.
I
and in the
hate
city,
people
right?
like you.
Okay, but
That's
technically
cheating.
that's what Jim Brown was.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you.
You think how would Jim and I'm not saying he wouldn't. I think Jim Brown would be great in all
No doubt.
at every level, every time frame, anywhere you put him, he's gonna be great. But the difference is that linebacker that's chasing him now run a 4.4 in this 250.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and what you look at with Nick Chubb, and the incredible thing about Nick Chubb is he go inside, he go outside,
Does it all.
he take it to the house, he does everything, and he does a lot of different things that all these great players did, right? He'll make you miss. He'll look, just because you there to tackle him, what do that mean? That don't mean nothing. It don't mean you gonna tackle him.
If you
Right.
He breaks tackles. He gets stronger as the game goes on. So there's a lot of things that go into what makes Nick Chubb great.
If you feel
Now,
like that about Jim Brown, I hate to see how you feel about.
But he's not
Mike.
dogging Jim
No,
Brown.
no, I'm not
Dude,
saying.
did you see Barry
I'm not
Sanders play,
saying-
or are you too young for Barry
I
Sanders?
see.
Here,
it was towards
you
the-
want me to give you a, you
No,
want me
no,
to give you a,
I'm not
you want me
saying-
to give you another example at a different position?
No, what I was gonna say is, if you feel like that about Jim Brown and about the time he played, then I hate to get into a LeBron and Michael Jordan conversation with you.
No, here's the thing though. Here's what I feel about Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
That Giannis is better
You
than
tr-
both of them. Yeah, I know.
Lord, he
You
done
trying to compare two different types of players, and that makes it difficult because when it gets down to it, the only thing you can go by is what they've accomplished. Because Jordan and LeBron are two different players. Okay, so let me ask you this: if Jordan was unstoppable, the only truly unstoppable basketball player with a skill set that was unstoppable was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, it's actually Giannis Antetokounmpo, but that's another story.
But he can't shoot from the outside.
Says who?
Can't shoot threes.
Who says who? I watched you win the game because of
Let's
it.
By the way, I'm sorry, I got to cut everybody off because I just want to back Leroy up here. In my lifetime, and Jay, you're old enough too. G, you're old enough for Barry Sanders too.
Yeah.
I agree with him. I think to me, Walter Payton, amazing. We could go Eric Dickerson and Earl Campbell and all these great. But I would take Barry Sanders over anybody I've seen play.
His skill set.
Anybody I've ever seen play.
His skill set, right?
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Right.
I'm with you.
I mean, what he did on the
here's the
field,
thing.
he had nothing
Here's the
around
thing
him.
that happens. Here's the thing that happens in sports.
Yeah.
We tend to take different and make it better.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
So we see what Steph Curry is doing as far as shooting the three and what he does with the basketball. So we claim him to be better than other players that have actually a different skill set. And it becomes difficult to make these comparisons. It's hard to compare LeBron to Jordan. But I will say this. LeBron did something Jordan never did. Take a bunch of stiffs to the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Leroy,
You see what I'm saying?
He also did something that will never be done again, and that was to lead the NBA Finals in a 7-game series. All players in all 5
That's crazy.
recordable
Giannis
stats.
didn't do that?
No.
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 Nobody
Hey,
will ever do that. Ever.
Hey, Travis.
Yeah,
Travis.
what? What up?
Get off the Giannis thing.
Yeah,
man.
no. It's a
Let
bad
it go.
look.
How is it?
Let it
bad
go.
look.
Let it go.
Y'all just don't see it yet.
Although in fairness,
I'm above
in fairness
my time.
to Jordan, he had to get through better teams than LeBron did in the East.
He did, but the Golden State team that LeBron did that against won more games in the regular season than any
in
team
the finals,
ever, including
no,
the Bulls.
the finals is fair.
Yeah.
But
and he
getting
was
through the
down
East was harder
3-1.
for Jordan. He
and
had
being
better
down through.
competition.
I know, but what
I heard you, Leroy. Don't worry.
you know
Yeah.
what? So somebody,
Sorry.
here's the one
Giannis
argument.
Antetokounmpo had
Actually-
a messed up, had a hyperextended leg.
Let's
and
drop
still
the
got
basketball
there.
nonsense.
We are not getting into Giannis.
Yeah, let's drop
Sorry,
the basketball.
sorry, yeah.
So Robert Smith's coming on in 2 minutes, and I want to ask you a question, and then when Robert comes on, I want to ask him the same question. For Nick Chubb, this is a homecoming. He's going back to Georgia. I'm assuming that either with the Browns or the Vikings, you played the Saints in New Orleans. Was that different for you? If so, how? How did it change the way you prepared for a game?
You know what's crazy? I played in the Superdome one time.
No kidding.
Wow.
And it was my rookie year, and we were so bad that they announced me as a starter in my hometown and they didn't tell me, and I was in the locker room. Wow. So, yeah. So it was so messed. Like we had some struggles my rookie year, but it felt good to play in front of, the home team. But I got to play against the Saints a lot.
Right.
And one of the cool things about every time we played the Saints is that when I was 8 years old, I did punt, pass, and kick, right? And if you go up to certain levels, you get to go to the team meal before the game with your home team. And so I got to take pictures with Archie Manning, with George Rogers, Wes Chandler, Dalton Hilliard. There's a whole bunch of guys that as a kid, those were my idols, right? That I looked up to. And everybody loved Archie. And so when we played the Saints and we did the production meeting, I actually brought the picture.
Wow.
Of me and Archie when I was 8 years old.
Crazy.
So it's crazy how these things either inspire you to want to do something or just get you to want to play well. I always wanted to play well in New Orleans because, a lot of times when you go play somewhere else, the way football was, every game wasn't on TV. You only saw your local team.
Right.
That me playing in Cleveland or in Minnesota, a lot of times the games weren't on TV in New Orleans.
Sure.
So that was really one of the few times that, my friends and family got to see me.
Wow. Yeah, it was a different time then for sure. Leroy,
Yeah.
hang on, because Robert Smith's up next. We're going to ask him the same question. I don't know if he ever played in Cleveland as a member of the Vikings, but we'll ask him that. In the meantime, McNuggets, you got something you want to mention here.
Yeah, like how you said hang on, because on Sunday you can hang out with the UCSS crew and Leroy and DeQuell and John Abraham and Andre Rison for the first half of the Falcons-Browns
And some other
game.
dude we don't know.
And some other guys who we're
Joseph
not
Robert.
quite sure who they are. But yeah, come hang out with us. It's kind of like a virtual
Hey,
Zoom
YG
room.
Bush down there looking like Outkast.
Hey, my you all different. Okay, I see you.
Got some bad shading on that picture.
I see you.
So that is on Sunday. We have a link for the free tickets on our Twitter and our Instagram. Check it out. And it should be a good time. So.
Looking like Big Boy. I see you, Big Boy, sneaking in.
Woman eye.
That's outstanding.
And now we got Robert Smith. What's up, Robert?
Robert, welcome to the Ultimate
Robert.
Cleveland Sports Show. Did you ever play in Cleveland when you were with the Vikings?
Hey,
He came in with jokes. He gonna come in. You know what?
That's a boom headshot right there, G.
You
Bush.
Minnesota cats, I'm gonna get y'all. I'm gonna get y'all. No, he came in with jokes.
Hey, check this out. This how it works in the locker room. When somebody get one on somebody, you just pile on because that means it ain't on you. That's how that is.
Jumping on the pile.
Well played, Robert Smith. Well played, man.
Yeah, and I think we were up there one time. It was, I think it might have been a preseason game. I don't know. I think I was hurt.
You played a Hall of Fame
wait.
game here once.
Did
It
you
was
play-
in Canton.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Robert.
play in that Hall of Fame. I don't think I played in that Hall of Fame game either because
No.
I was coming off the ACL.
You did not. I was
Hey.
covering it. I was working in Columbus. You were there. Chris Carter was there, but I know you did not play.
Yeah, and
Did
that's
you play in the
just
game?
when Warren. That's just when Warren Moon had come to the team.
Okay,
you're
so
right.
guess what? I remember that game. I broke my hand, right? And we lost like 59-3 in a preseason game. Seriously.
Are you talking about? You're talking about the Cleveland game.
Yeah, when Minnesota went to Cleveland, when Warren Moon first got
Right.
there,
Wow.
we got
Right.
stomped. I was like,
Just a sign of things to come.
I said,
Foreshadowing.
and they say, "Hey, don't worry about it. This is just preseason." I say, "Bull!" Like, I ain't never got my butt beat like that. Wow.
They all feel the same. But the funniest thing about those kind of games though is all the new family that you didn't realize you had, the extended cousins that somehow get a hold of your number and
want tickets.
Oh man. But you know what? And they used to tell us this all the time, and it is so true. I'm 50 years old now. I've been out of the league for 21 years. You never get out of the ticket business. You're never out of the ticket business. Like, if you ever played in the league, people think you still get tickets all the time. Doesn't matter where the game is. Like, hey, why do you think I know people? Never mind. Like, it just, there's this website, an app called StubHub. They got tickets too.
Yeah. And you have to pay for them.
Yeah. Let me give you my password real quick. Hey man, this is full price. Yeah, I know.
No, that's a good line, StubHub.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out if this homecoming for Chubb will be any special, a special event for him. What's your take on that, Robert? Or is it just another game? You got to go do your thing.
I mean, he's such a low-key guy. It wouldn't surprise me if he probably tells everybody, hey, it's game time, it's game week. So, I don't have time for all the nonsense. He just hires somebody to take care of all that stuff for him. Have somebody on the team say, hey, can you handle all this for me?
Right.
His personality allows him to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And nobody's surprised, like, oh, that's just Nick.
By the way,
It
it could be a coincidence, but Nick Chubb has only played against the Falcons once. It was here, not in Atlanta.
And he went crazy.
But in that game, he had 20 carries for 176 yards.
All right, I'll take that.
Wow.
I'll take that.
I mean, although that's not uncommon for him.
No, it's not. Leroy, I know you got to scoot. Thanks for spending time with us, bro. We'll talk very soon.
Stay dry, Leroy.
Protect that other hand, Leroy. Protect that other hand. You need it.
Hey. Wow, you still on that, huh?
Pause.
Ooh, you gotta let that go. I can still lift my cheeseburger.
Hey, Leroy, at least you ain't got that ball. You don't have that ball dinger.
Oh yeah, he just got.
Yeah, that thing's
You got
nasty.
that finger that's not with the other ones.
Yeah, that's like Anthony Munoz has the same thing. It's
You might
nasty.
as well start over.
Yeah, my boy Josh got that.
It's
Like,
nasty.
I'm gonna just start over with my finger.
All right, boys.
Peace out, Leroy. Take care,
All
brother.
right, Elroy.
All right.
Elroy. Robert, what do you make of this matchup? It's one of those games that, I don't think anything's going to surprise anybody, to be perfectly honest, because that's where we are in the NFL now. But what do you make of it?
Well, it's interesting. I had a chance to call the Falcons in Seattle last week. So, they got their first win of the season. And, they had chances in both of those first two games that they played. Against the Saints, they got off to a quick start, let Jameis and that Saints offense get back in. And then against the Rams, they were able to fight back and almost win that game. And then they went up to Seattle and really got things going. They got a really good rush attack with Cordero Patterson, who, was initially drafted up there in Minnesota as a receiver and a kick returner, and guy's physical. I don't know, saying those kind of things to a team that has Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. People are like, yeah, well, we know what physical is, but he's a good runner. But what's more concerning is those big targets on the outside and on the inside, because they line up Kyle Pitts just about everywhere. And people were worried about him not getting enough catches. He only had 4 catches in the first 2 games. But as you could see, he got it all the way up to 9. So he got 5 catches against Seattle on the road last week. But this Drake London kid, the rookie out of USC, he's a lot of fun to watch, man. And he is physical as hell. And, an interesting story about him, when Arthur Smith went up there to interview him before the draft, they asked him, why do you play so physical? And he said, I hate DBs. I just hate DBs, man. So, they ended up drafting him, and you can see the way that he plays. Not just physical, he's hurdling folks out there, and he's a big target. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. The way that Jacoby has been playing and played last week, in prime time, I thought was really impressive. Not just making the dinks and dunks like people thought, but really throwing on rhythm, throwing with great accuracy with some zip. And, of course, the run game is kind of what we thought it was going to be. So Atlanta's got some problems on that side of the ball. So that could be a major factor. So this is a game with two talented offenses, and I think the Browns have the edge defensively. This is the kind of thing where it come down to special teams and turnovers. Should be a good game though.
Robert, I got 3 key matchups for the Browns defense versus Atlanta's offense. JOK versus Cordell Patterson, Kyle Pitts. All right, now and the Kyle
if JOK plays.
Exactly. If Kyle Pitts, all right, let me run this by you and tell me what you think. Do you think it would be smart? So you know how the Browns run 4-2-5, they have a nickel come in. Instead of having, G New go down in that nickel position, what if they leave him outside and put in Ronnie Harrison so they had that bigger body in the box and that can also check Kyle Pitts? Don't you think that would be like a good matchup? Because, Ronnie Harrison is pretty good man-to-man on the tight end.
Well, here's the thing, though, with Kyle Pitts, you pretty much have to be good everywhere. Unless you're playing strictly man and you're traveling somebody, then people are going to have to defend him in all kinds of places because they'll line him up, as an inline tight end. They'll move him to the outside. They'll motion him. So they'll move him all over the place. So, it sounds like a good plan going against a guy like Kyle Pitts, having one guy that you think is going to be really great covering him. But he really challenges the depth in a secondary and the coverage skills of your linebacking core, which makes him so dangerous. And, for a guy his size and the way he moves, it's amazing, just watching him coming out of Florida. And by the way, he played, he was only 20 years old as a rookie until October. So he just turned 21 last week, I think it was, or the week before. So, he was a young player, but got all kinds of athleticism. And again, I think he really forces a defense to have a big number of defenders that can cover him because they do such a good job moving him around.
Hey, Robert, let's switch gears to the Buckeyes, and here's the really important question heading into this game. If the Buckeyes were only allowed to use me and Mikey McNuggets as their running backs this week, would they still win?
Yes.
Over Rutgers.
God, I'd pay to watch that.
I would pay to watch
Only me and McNuggets.
Well, you're the fullback. I'm clearly the scat back.
Would they still win if we – I'm being serious. If only we were allowed to play running back, would they still be able to overcome that and win the game?
Apart from, people probably breaking down laughing in the huddle,
yes.
Having some trouble that way. I think it's still possible, man. It's just amazing to me watching this offense operate. I mean, what we've seen, with Egbuka and Fleming, and everybody knew coming into the season, what you had with an injured Jackson Smith and Jigba now, and Marvin Harrison. I mean, and then having Cade Stover. They got some great nicknames, by the way. It's Farmer Gronk for Cade Stover, and then it's Pork Chop for Mayan Williams.
That's a great nickname, Pork Chop.
That's a damn Pork Chop is perfect, isn't it?
So is Farmer Gronk, really.
Are they going to cover?
What's that?
Are they going to cover the 40-point spread?
No, that's an interesting question. I haven't watched a lot of Rutgers this year, but my guess is yes. I mean, they could have put up twice as many points against Wisconsin. I'm guessing Rutgers isn't going to have too many answers.
Or Greg Schiano revenge game, no?
Robert, let me save you the issue. You don't have to watch Rutgers. Trust me. Just save it.
I think they're like dead last in Division I in offense.
Iowa scored 2 touchdowns all season.
That's a good point about the Schiano revenge thing. Although he's probably more mad at Tennessee than he would be at Columbus for what happened there. But
yeah, exactly.
I think they can pretty much call their number in this. It's just there's just way too much firepower. This is more of just kind of refining the machine, if you will, and it's looked pretty dang good so far.
Robert, I don't know if you got to see much of the Michigan-Maryland game, but I was shocked that Maryland played with them the way they did. I mean, they spotted them 7 points on the opening kickoff, and after that, they played even with them.
Yeah, and didn't Taulio got hurt in that one, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, and that it kind of surprised me too. So, this Michigan team, I mean, having JJ in at quarterback, it obviously gives them a mobile option there, and the offense is firing. But yeah, defensively surprised me as well, and obviously losing the two big edge rushers from a year ago, they're going to be giving up some points, which is going to make things interesting for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they could not get pressure on the quarterback at all. It was stunning.
Yeah.
Their lack of pressure was just stunning to me.
This is an oddball question, but I've been watching lately. I've been watching HBCU football, and I saw Jackson State.
Did you see Jay Walker on any of the calls?
Yeah.
Jay's my guy. Jay was up in Minnesota. He was with us with the Vikings back in '98, and a friend of mine. I just talked to Jay a couple nights ago. He was a state rep up in Maryland for a number of years. He stopped doing that, but he's been calling those games for a while now.
Yeah,
but you were talking about Jackson State.
Yep, Jackson State. Do you feel like, do you believe that HBCU could ever be ranked in the top 25?
That's a really good question. I know Deion's done such a great job of recruiting there and kind of getting that program going. I mean, I'm trying to think now, have we ever seen like North Dakota State? I don't know that there were any rankings where those guys got in there. So it would be really difficult, and you'd have to have scheduled and beaten some major teams to be able to do something like that, and some of the Power 5 teams. So it would be hard to do.
By the way, Stroud has threw more touchdowns last week than the Rutgers quarterback's thrown all year.
That doesn't surprise me.
He's done that twice.
Probably done it every week, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's actually done it 3 weeks. Last 3 weeks.
Outside of Notre Dame.
We're sitting here laughing and giggling, and watch Rutgers come in here and put up a number.
They got Rutgers. ESPN's got Rutgers with a 1.8% chance to win the game.
1.7%.
Yeah, they also had the Jets at 0.1% chance. So how'd that work out?
Hey,
no. Oh,
hey,
yeah, at the end of the game you're talking about.
Hey, Jay, those are the things you think but that you don't say, right? Like, we got to just move past that one on the 0.1% thing, man.
Keep it moving.
If Ohio State did not play a single starter, would they win the game?
No.
Yes.
I think they would, right?
No starters? Did they play all backups?
Yeah.
They're still 4 and 5-star kids.
Aren't
Rutgers is a
wow.
good
I'm
team.
about to say, so much of 5 stars behind them.
Wouldn't Ohio State still win, Robert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just not by
All backup,
obviously.
All right, McNuggets got something for you.
Listen, erase this, kill this if by some freak, and I don't think that we'll be close, but if for some fluky, nobody thought Maryland was going to play Michigan the way they did.
I did.
No,
They still didn't win, though.
Yeah, but Rutgers is
But Maryland,
Maryland's at least okay.
and Rutgers are just.
I think
different.
Rutgers beat Maryland last year.
Yeah, but that was
I know.
one
I was
time.
getting ready to say. I know that Rutgers pulled some things off last year. Different team this year.
Yeah. Go ahead, McNuggets.
Robert, last one here. I know you were on the call for the Falcons Seahawks last week. You saw that Falcons offensive line in person.
I was watching some of that game.
If Myles Garrett can't play after what happened this week, how can the Browns get pressure on Mariota, and is this offensive line any good?
Yeah, I mean, they're decent. They were able to get up there against the Seattle team, and that's it's a defense in Seattle that's kind of had some troubles. They just moved their scheme this year, brought in a new coordinator with Clinton Hurd, and they've changed things up a bit, and so Atlanta was able to run the ball effectively against them. But they're a pretty good offensive line, and a guy like Mariota, I think somewhat akin to Mitch Trubisky, has the ability to move around the pocket really well, but I think is even more dangerous in running the football. Now, Arthur Smith said that he wants to be careful about that. Says he wants to win the war, not just these individual games, because he's thinking about Mariota's health as the season goes on. So they're going to try and protect him. But that's what you have to be really careful about in games like this, that when you're rushing a quarterback like Marcus Mariota, that you just get to his depth and don't get past it, because he's really good at climbing in the pocket, sliding, escaping, and even with some design runs and some zone read, can put a lot of pressure on defenses.
Robert,
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks for your time, for sure. You got a game this weekend or no?
Yeah, we do. We got Seattle again, this time up in Detroit.
Very cool.
So
hey, Detroit's look good on offense.
Mm-hmm. Man, they really have.
But they lost
What was
Swift.
that?
They lost Swift. He's out for a while.
Well,
Although,
they got Jamal Williams.
Yeah, he's played
a pretty
well.
good backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having Swift out certainly isn't going to help. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, a little banged up. We'll see, if he's going to play in the game as well. But they're all fun games to call, man. It's a pleasure. Next week we got Philly at Arizona, so that one's going to be a lot of fun too.
Very good. Well, enjoy the call, Robert. We'll see you next week. Thanks, man.
All right. See you
Robert
guys.
Smith on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. That kind of talk, I always try to squelch that because that scares me when you talk about, can they win with me and McNuggets at running back?
Oh, come on.
Can they win with all the backups? You guys remember when this was in the 70s, the Browns were so bad, everybody said Ohio State would kill the Browns, kill them.
Well, that's
and I'm like, come on, let's stop that kind of talk. Yeah.
That's college versus pro.
That's
Come on.
time.
Well, I know you weren't even born yet, but
here's what I'll do.
like that's a ridiculous conversation.
I would like. It's kind of messed up. I would actually like to see that. Like
all the backups.
Like if
the backups?
Like
I think you're going to say Ohio State.
I don't
played
want
the
to see
Browns.
McNuggets. McNuggets would get taken out on a stretcher after one
Hold
play.
on, for the record, the reason we'd win that game with me and Bull is they just wouldn't run the ball. They could just throw it to Buka.
I want at least one carry.
I want to see. I want to see you get one carry.
Can't they just block for me? Get me 1 yard?
You're not getting.
You gonna get the yard, but you gonna get punished for sure.
You're gonna get
All right, I've taken some hits over the years.
Not like this.
I know not like this.
You don't want that smoke.
True or false? Bull can get 1 yard.
Yeah, he get a yard.
You get a yard. Okay.
Behind
to our next.
I actually don't think I could get a yard.
You get it.
I
you get the ball.
I could have 15 years ago. Not now.
They would push people off the line so
They will
far
do it for me?
that you can literally just
And I'll just go 1 yard, I'll dive
and
down.
just fall down.
I would like to see, say for
Yeah.
instance, somebody's the twos, right?
Yeah.
The number twos go against
All the backups.
Against
I think Ohio State will
or
probably still
Alabama.
win by 3 touchdowns, no?
You talking about the Browns?
Yeah,
too?
Browns twos against Ohio State's.
Oh,
ones.
come on.
It'd be
No,
closer.
Browns
I think
twos
it'd be
win.
closer
Browns
than you
twos
think.
win.
Yeah,
They're
Browns
professionals.
Yeah,
That'd
they're
be closer
winning.
than you think.
The
It'd
only
be
time a college team could ever beat a pro team if you had an elite college basketball team playing an NBA team that's completely tanking and is playing all G League guys just because they want to lose intention.
I think it'd
It's
be.
the
I
only
think it'd be
chance.
closer than people think.
Especially if you got to think they ain't got a quarterback. They'll be playing with like your backup.
But if you take all of the Browns twos, all of them, the majority of them were either draft picks. Because I mean, there are unrestricted, there are undrafted free agents on everybody's roster.
Yes.
But it's just a handful sprinkled in here and there.
Okay.
Most of these guys were drafted. Will most of the Buckeyes be drafted?
A lot of
the
them.
answer to that is no. No, they won't.
They probably have like maybe 5.
Well,
6.
but that's not. But most of the starters will be.
Yeah,
Some of the
so,
starters will be.
the-
Most would be a majority, and I don't know that.
I would
that's
guess the
case.
majority is, but I would still guess that the
No,
Browns
they've
backups
only
would kick
had
their
seven.
ass.
7 was the most players drafted by Ohio State in a single
Yeah,
draft in the last
I
7
like
Yeah,
years.
but
So.
the starters are not all seniors. They're different classes.
Sure, they are, but I mean that's 7. So if you just extrapolate that out, that's 20. If you did 7 a year, which 7
Right.
is their record.
Okay.
If you did
Not
7
the
a
record,
year,
just most in recent.
okay.
Yeah.
So that would be 28 on the roster right now.
12 of us drafted when I went.
No, that was the
Right, and Jay,
that's
there's
the
only
record.
22
16.
starters.
That is the record.
There's
Well,
only
I
22
said
starters.
recent is in the last couple.
I
of
would
years.
say the majority of, the 22 starters for the Ohio State, wouldn't you guess that more than 11 of them will be drafted?
I would say it would probably be around 11.
or free agents, right? Here, that's the minutia.
But still, the NFL backups would win.
Yeah, I just remember.
I think so, too.
If I do too. If Anthony Schwartz can score 3 years ago against like Texas A&M or something,
He did on a triple reverse. I filmed it.
Obviously,
It
he's
hurt.
better than he
Right.
was then.
Yeah.
Donovan Peoples-Jones should dominate. Like he should. Like,
Right.
Amari Cooper. I lied. Sorry. They
Yeah.
can't, they
Well,
can't
you did
turn-
say the backups.
Yeah, like-
I mean, Amari Cooper wouldn't be playing.
I mean, but Donovan Peoples-Jones.
But if you took the
He a starter.
if you took the second team,
You'd be talking David Bell and Schwartz.
if you took the
yeah,
20,
they ain't beating anybody with David Bell.
if you took the 25 best players on Ohio State and made them ineligible for this Rutgers game, what would the final score be? Top 25 players on Ohio State ineligible. What's the final score of the game?
21-14.
They win by 2 touchdowns still.
21-14. Ryan Day's a great offensive mind. So
They still got.
Yeah, you think
He gonna
you
scheme
look
it.
nervous. Jay gets so antsy about this
Listen,
conversation.
I don't like talking about this nonsense because I just watched Maryland, a team that Rutgers beat last week, almost beat Michigan, who beat Ohio State last year.
Last year,
yes.
yeah.
What we got next?
McNuggets, let's do this. We're
Come
doing,
on, true or false time. I haven't
It's
won
time
in
for true
forever.
or false.
Yeah, let's play this
Who
game.
got the belt last?
You did.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
You actually
Tyvus is the first time.
Nobody's won twice.
No,
Is that
Tyvus
me?
now has won twice.
You were the first two.
First
Look at
two-time
that.
winner.
Tyvus is the 2-time champ.
Going for 3P.
And also, he saw the question beforehand. I'm just saying.
No, he didn't see the question.
When I
No,
said I can't remember who the guy was that we're doing, he was like, Greedy Williams.
He didn't cheat.
He put it in the rundown. It's his fault. I
Tyvus
didn't
is not a
look up nothing.
cheater.
All right.
No
I didn't look
cheaters
up.
here.
It's
Let's
not.
go. Here we
It
go.
wouldn't be fun winning if I cheated.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
I
It can't be
agree.
fun if you
Let's
cheat.
go.
Go ahead.
All right. Today's contestant is Greedy Williams. He hasn't been on the field yet this season, but he is in our hearts and he is in our
Not
game.
in my heart.
Shouldn't they have
Go
to
ahead.
be a player to do this?
No, because we have to be able to find facts. That's more important than whether or
Okay.
not they play. Number 1, Greedy led the SEC in interceptions with 6 in 2017.
Go ahead, champ.
Yeah, champ goes first.
Champ is here.
That's actually.
Come on, Tyvus. We don't got all day here.
True.
We got a show to go.
What the hell? True.
G?
6. I know he had a couple. I'm gonna go with True. It's a lot of picks though.
That is a lot of picks for a corner. But it's the SEC. They throw up the ball a lot. So.
He got some picks that year.
You gonna answer? Or you want me to go?
You go. We'll go.
I'm gonna say that's false.
I'm going true.
Survey says Jay, the only one to miss that one. It is true.
I saw what we're gonna do. I see what we're gonna do now.
Curveball.
I see what we're gonna do now.
That was dope.
The first one was true.
That was
Okay.
like Snoop Dogg in that commercial.
it was.
Number 2, and I hope I pronounced this correctly. Greedy's real name is actually Andres.
I really don't know that answer. False.
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 Yeah, Andreas seems too ethnic.
Too ethnic.
Let's see. It's true.
Oh, we all got it wrong.
Got it wrong.
His real name's Andres, if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's spelled correctly. That is fact. Let's get to the next one.
We should have known it was true because if Mike had made it up, he probably would have been. He would have pronounced it however he wanted.
Yeah, like true. I should have known. I should have knew who was.
I'm now in your guys' head with these.
We are.
That's
You
what
are.
I
All
like
right.
about it.
Let's go.
Okay. True or false? Greedy won the Jim Thorpe Award in 2018, which is given to the nation's top defensive back.
False.
False. Yeah, I was about to say.
That's false.
I thought it was
False.
wasn't it Dale Pitt?
Let's see it. You're right. It was Delpit, his teammate. His teammate. Good catch. So far through 3 questions.
I'm just based on what I've seen from
Yeah, I'm like, that was
Ain't no way that dude won the Thorpe.
that is not a Thorpe-looking guy.
But he
Through
did
3
lead.
questions.
He led it
Jake,
in
1 and 2, everyone
interceptions.
else,
You need
2
to
and
cut
1.
it out, Jay.
No.
All right, let's get to question number 4. Greedy's older brother, Rodarius, was a 6th-round pick by the New York Giants in 2021.
He got a
I think that's true.
I think it's false.
I think it's true.
One of you guys is right. The other
All
is
right,
wrong.
you on your stuff today. You must be getting some sleep.
He got an older brother.
Rodarius.
Andreas and Rodarius. That seems like
That seems together. It's a
like-
good
He
point.
could have a brother named Rodarius, but
Yeah,
was he a 6th-round pick?
that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say yes, he was.
Dang.
I don't know. It's true.
So, Bull went false. You 3 went true.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I say true. Yeah.
Let's see it. It's true.
Yes,
Back
sir.
tied with Bull.
Yes,
Titus
sir.
and G once again up top.
Ooh, thank God. I was scared.
We are halfway through. Let's
She
see the
had
next
good
one.
analysis on that one.
Yeah,
That
see?
Rodarius and Andreas sounded a lot alike.
Greedy led his high school to back-to-back state titles in Louisiana as the star quarterback.
Shoot, man.
Ah, that's tough. Is this?
Because I could see it being true.
this
'cause
5A?
that type of stuff be happening, man.
Yeah,
But
like-
he don't look like
He don't look like he throw the ball. Though.
Yeah.
He must have been running Wildcat.
False,
I don't know.
man.
False. Wow.
And it's Louisiana too.
They
Like,
got good
they
quarterback
got
play.
decent- That's false. I'm sorry. Don't disrespect
Jay?
me, but you can't throw no football.
I've got to get back in this, and they're both one ahead of me right now.
You
But answering it wrong isn't gonna do
it's
it.
canceling you
So
out.
I'm just gonna stay one behind you guys because that ain't no way that's.
I'm saying true, Mikey McNuggets. Give me the winner, baby.
Let's see if Bull can stand alone and gain some ground or nope. He's digging a hole. You know what? When I made that question, I didn't think about the fact that quarterbacks get hit a lot in high school football.
Yeah.
Greedy definitely can't take hits. So.
That sounded so ridiculous. I thought it was so ridiculous. It had to be true.
He would have been hurt by week 3 both
I
years.
know it didn't make any sense, so I was going with the opposite on that.
Yeah.
Not really-
How many
didn't
more
work
we
for
got
me.
to go?
2.
Damn.
We have 2 or 3 left.
I suck now.
We have
This
3
game.
left.
Oh, shoot.
All right, let's do the
left.
next one.
I'm catching you guys.
Greedy's grandfather gave him the nickname Greedy Dee as a child after babysitting him as an infant.
True.
I think that's false. I think his grandmother gave it to him.
Yeah, we gonna defer at this one.
Yeah.
That sounds made up. I'm saying false.
Damn.
I know.
I just don't know grandfathers that are babysitting.
like
you know,
he
like
ain't babysitting
like
like
my
that.
daughter is not
is-
leaving
that is
Hayes
true.
Marie with me.
That
Like,
is true.
She's leaving Hayes Marie with my wife.
That's very
Grandmothers
true.
is more hands-on.
Men can't babysit?
Traditionally, we don't. I mean, so I'm going to say that's
That's
false.
true too.
Hey, man,
So
Tyvus don't
Tyvus said true. The other 3 said false. Correct?
My goodness.
Tyvus, you're going to be in the lead or you're dropping. Let's see it, Steve.
Let's go.
Was right
Let's
on.
go.
What's the
The
standings
grandmother. The nickname's real. The grandmother gave him Greedy Dee,
Oh,
not
wow.
the grandfather.
here? What's the?
You
what's
get extra
the,
points.
I should get extra points
Updated
for that.
standings. G. Bush has 5 correct. Jay Tyvus have 4, and Bull has 3, with 2 to go.
I'm coming for you.
You know,
Coming for you, biggin'.
You know I don't sleep.
I wanted
No
to-
sleep. I'll be all documentaries and cartoons.
I gotta
and
go opposite. I gotta go opposite of him now.
Okay, let's take the next one. We have 2 left.
Someone read the Greedy bio, bro.
Greedy
Someone's
was the first
5-0 right
LSU
now.
player to lead the SEC in interceptions since Craig Stelz in 2007.
Now listen,
DBU.
there's a lot of dudes in there. It's a lot of Patrick Peterson.
Didn't Ty Matthew? I mean,
Tyran.
I would
Morris
think he would have led.
Claiborne, Honey Badger.
That's a straight up false.
We got 1 false.
I'm going opposite of G.
Was the first.
That's such cheating, Tyvus. You should
Come on
give your
now.
answer
You guys
first.
should say the answers at the same time.
I'm gonna say true.
Dang, I was gonna say true too. I got true too. Hey,
I'm saying false.
hey, G.
Let's see it. So everybody says it's true.
He's 6-0. He's 6-0
He
now.
got one wrong. He got one wrong.
I got one wrong.
I
didn't get one wrong.
knew he was
Damn.
gonna say
6-1.
false.
No.
So the worst you could do now
All right.
is tie. So let's see the last one.
I just knew he was gonna say false.
Greedy was only the 2nd LSU freshman to make the All-SEC team since 1986. If we have a tiebreaker, the tiebreaker is, can you guess the other? I guarantee you can.
I'm going the opposite of G, obviously.
I'm saying true.
I'm going the opposite of G.
False.
Yeah, LSU is real good. 86 is years and years ago. I'm gonna go with false.
True.
Somebody else.
Please, God, let it be true.
So if this is true, we have a tie.
It's a 3-way tie.
Let's see it.
No,
Please,
2-way.
God.
You-
Yes!
It is true.
All right, so you guys are tied. We need
Yes!
a
G and
tiebreaker.
Tyvus are tied.
So
Wait.
the tiebreaker was, can you name the last one?
Okay, so yes. There's no way you're gonna guess on time. I'll give you 3 names. If you can pick one of the 3,
What's the question?
who was the other freshman?
I finished 1 behind, right? I can't
yeah,
win.
you're 1 behind. You guys can play here too.
Okay.
Okay.
You giving us 3 names?
I'm gonna give you 3 names. Give me 1 sec. I got 2 off the top of my head. I gotta think of a 3rd one. Just y'all talk amongst
I'm
yourself.
thinking
for 1 sec.
1986 LSU Tigers. I don't think they were very good in
Man, G,
86.
you did well today.
I mean,
caught
didn't do
up.
well
I
in
think
fourth
G
quarter.
was winning until the final round, so he should get the first pick on this, in my opinion.
Yeah, he should be able to.
First pick in the multiple choice.
Oh, this is
What kind of
multiple
stuff is
choice.
that?
Hey, you can make the same pick.
I lost
true.
once they said.
All right, you guys ready?
All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
We got 4 names. 4 names for you.
Yeah.
Honey Badger,
I'm not picking him.
Leonard Fournette, Brad Wing, and Patrick Peterson.
I got it.
What is the question
not gonna
again?
answer
I don't
'cause I
even
know
remember
it.
what the
Who was
question
the other freshman
Yeah.
to make the All-SEC team?
Dang, that's
Or the other LSU player to make the All-SEC team as a true freshman for LSU since 1986? Your options: Patrick Peterson, Brad Wing, Leonard Fournette, and Tyrann Mathieu.
I got it.
I'm gonna go with.
Don't say it.
I'm gonna go with Leonard Fournette.
I'm gonna go with Brad.
Brad Wing.
It is Brad Wing.
Wow!
The
And
people's
Tyvus,
He came back and
who
got
kind
that.
of cheated his way by just going opposite of G. Bush on the last one.
No, you guys weren't paying attention. I'll tell you why. On that last question,
86,
he
I
said, if it's true,
We gotta get the name.
the tiebreaker is
gotta
who was the last one, and you'll never get it.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point,
yes,
yeah.
it's true, because
Do
we're
y'all
never
know
going to get
position
it.
Brad Wing
And
plays?
which one?
We gotta get this.
He was a
we gotta
punter.
get this.
Yeah, he's a punter.
We gotta get
Wow.
this remade to
Wow.
say Team Powell
Nonetheless,
at the
Hey, you
top. Steve,
came
get a
back.
close up on
Tyvus
that.
the champ
Come
again.
on, 3 times. The only,
We're gonna
I
start
think
making
he's
sure
on
this
3
picks
in a
first.
row.
the only 3-time champ. You know.
No, because I won 3 weeks.
Oh, you were the
I was
last
the
one
only
to
one
win.
without a,
Right,
without a
that's right.
victory.
Hey man,
But I think he's won 3 of the last
It's the
4.
people's champ.
Hey,
Yeah, I think you're right.
I feel like Phil Mickelson right now. I just keep coming in second. You know what I mean? I
Or
got
the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, good gracious, man.
Couldn't finish, man.
You're Scott Norwood.
Just couldn't finish. That's
Pause.
all.
Tyvus will have to answer his questions first next week.
What
I
is
think that's
that?
smart.
What is
As
that?
the champ, I think that's fair.
What is that about?
You know
It's
what
a
we
new
should
rule.
do is write our answers
We
and
ain't,
then
no. You
That's how we
can't-
should do it.
We get 4 whiteboards.
4 whiteboards.
No,
Yes.
we get 4 whiteboards.
There you go.
We write
write
true or
them and
false.
turn it at the same
this
time.
is pathetic, man. We gotta do.
Hey,
Because I won, I cheated, and that was. Y'all, you know, I'm about to walk off.
No,
the
we're
stage.
not talking about
That's
cheating.
What y'all trying to
Wait
say?
a second.
Y'all saying I'm manipulating
No,
the
hold
system.
on. This has nothing to do with you specifically. We've all done this at the end of games.
Yeah.
And it's
You know the score. You're going to
Yeah, right.
rate it out. Oh, you answered true. Now I'm going to say false.
right.
Because I
We've
got
all
to
been
make up
doing that.
ground.
Yeah.
No, the fair way to do it is like the dating game.
Yes.
You write it down on the whiteboard.
what we call
It's called.
Like,
you-
Coach,
We're gonna
Coach
print
used to
out
say,
true or false
you
cards.
bird
We're gonna hold
dog in
up
the
true or
drill.
Yes.
false. We're gonna
Don't,
do
That's a good
No,
idea.
true or
don't,
false
don't
on a
you bird
stick.
dog the drill.
Put them on a stick.
Yeah.
Exactly. We'll make
And,
sticks. Yep.
and
1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
whatever.
I like
Ty-
that.
Tyvus be playing off cards, and he over there, and then he gonna jump around. You knew the dig was coming, Tyvus. We showed you in the card.
Tyvus deserves the love he wanted.
Thank you.
No, it's good. Seriously,
Well
guys,
deserved,
Dr.
well
Tyvus,
deserved.
Not only is he a
Three-time
national
champ.
champion, he is the
Three-time.
true and false pre-card champion.
If you
Yeah.
need to know something about the Browns, I'm the man to know. Ask your boy.
I will say, as silly as true and false is, this has become one of my favorite parts
Love
of the
it.
week because
Oh,
you guys
great.
take it
Love
so
true or
seriously.
false.
Hell yeah, we take it seriously.
And so does the YouTube chat, by the way. The YouTube chat is as involved as you guys are. And
Good.
shout out to, I saw Randy Capel says he went 7-1. April says she went 4-4. Some other people went 5-3.
Somebody gotta moderate
3-5.
April's being honest.
Yeah.
4
I know.
I'm not bragging about
Like that 7-1 guy, he's probably making that
Like,
up.
come on, man.
He
Come
said
on.
he goes, I'm gonna just say 1 so they don't think I'm really lying at 8
Yeah,
now.
right.
Well,
hey,
they Googling it.
Speaking of the champ and the whiteboard, you don't have anything you want to break down for us, play-wise, from Thursday?
It was good. You know, they did a lot.
Except for that onside kick, it was another debacle.
Yeah, that was.
Well, you and I were talking, and you said they might be coaching it that way.
Yeah.
Right?
So I told
Why
you-
would you
crazy.
coach it that way? Let that guy come free.
So what happened was, I told you, I talked to my special teams coordinator. I called him, was like, yo, what's going on? Like, what is this about? Is they doing this right? He laughed at it and he said the only 2 ways you would do that is if they're kicking from the far hash, the ball usually doesn't travel all the way to the sideline, so they kind of let that guy go. And the second reason would be if they just don't believe that the kicker has a strong enough leg. Both cases, the ball has made it to the sideline 2 weeks in a row. So
I don't
think
understand the strong enough leg. These guys are kicking off the football 70 yards in the air.
It's
Strong
supposed
leg.
to hop though.
Yeah.
A lot of people it's supposed to boom, 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 and bounce up,
Right.
so it's a jump ball.
Yeah, but isn't that just the luck of the bounce?
Yeah, I don't know. How you,
Yeah.
And I would think all these guys have strong
I
enough
know.
legs.
It's weird. By the way,
NFL
speaking of
kickers.
long kicks, do you remember today is the anniversary? I don't know if you guys remember this.
Tucker?
When Lane Kiffin had Sebastian Janikowski attempt like a 75-yard field goal against the wind. It wasn't even in Denver or anything. I don't know if you guys remember this. And then he got fired I don't know, it was right after the game.
Was it even close?
No.
Probably didn't get to the goal line.
The guy who one of the defenders caught the ball at like the 10-yard line.
And
Ran
that's
it back.
returnable.
I gotta look that up. I've
that
never
used to
seen
happen
that
a
one.
lot.
It did used to happen a lot.
People will line up because
Right,
people
and
start returning them kicks.
Right.
Yeah. So
But,
now
like,
they're
nobody
like,
can make especially like I guess if you
got
have
fired.
if you have Justin Tucker in Denver, maybe you could try a 70-something
well,
yard
usually
field goal.
the way it works is, and Jay Feely told us this when he was
Yeah.
on, kickers they'll kick pregame
Right.
both ways, and then the coach will have a little conversation with them. What's your range going this way? What's your range going
Right.
that way? And the kicker is supposed to honestly tell them, I was consistently making from 61 into the wind, and I was 65, with the wind at my back or whatever. I can't imagine that Janikowski actually.
Who was a really good kicker, obviously.
Well, he had
Although he's drafted in the first. Can you imagine drafting I don't care how good the kicker is.
That's crazy.
The Raiders
First
took Ray
round.
Guy in the first round, and it was genius. He's a Hall of Fame kicker.
Yeah, it's still.
They
He was the best in
attempted
the
a
game. He was-
75-yard field goal in the game.
That's nuts.
I've never heard
That's
of that.
nuts.
Hey, guys,
now,
we got,
if it's at the end of the game and it's your only chance, I would still rather try a Hail Mary.
That's worse than the Denver Broncos doing that in week 1.
Here it is. I'm going to
Okay,
show.
well, they watched that. We got Dave Richards in 5 minutes, so real quick, we got to make sure we touch on a little Guardians
Okay.
and how we want to see them. I know they lost last night.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, while they're doing this, we put up the Post Malone tweet I had yesterday at the concert. The guy sitting in front of me, let's take this on Tagboard Full, was watching the game cast of the Guardians.
Was he really?
The entire, I had to take a video of him, was on the game cast the entire time. That is the most dedicated fan. I don't know if he hates Post Malone and got dragged there, but shout out to that guy, whoever you are, a real
Because that was a
Guardians fan.
I didn't even watch the whole game. I was just popping in and out. Once Bieber gave up the lead and it was 4-1, I pretty much said, they're throwing in the towel.
I actually watched it through the
do y'all-
10th inning.
I
but then
picked
went
it
to
back
sleep.
up in the 8th when they tied it.
I mean, is this a bad thing? If they go on a long losing streak, will you freak out?
I don't want to see a long losing streak.
No, you
never
don't want
do.
to see that.
You never do. But
he did use Klase and Karinchak in the game last night.
no, he's Karinchak.
No, I said he.
Oh, I
he
thought
did.
you said he didn't.
Okay. No, sorry,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did. He used both. I think this time of the year for these, he's cracking up because I showed him the Janikowski.
sorry.
It actually was fielded at like the 5.
It
not the
wasn't
10,
even
but
close.
It wasn't even close.
Okay, so it traveled 70 yards.
It did.
Or no, 65.
55 because the end zone. Well, about 60. It traveled about 60 yards.
This man's crying.
Right.
I can't believe
It wasn't even
he
close.
went
And it was
through
way.
with it.
And it was
you
way
show
off.
ball?
I showed him the Janikowski 75-yard.
Oh, that wasn't even close, yeah.
No, it was fielded at the 5.
Did they take it
And
back
it was
for a
on the
touchdown?
outs. No, and it was not even between the goalposts. It was on the 5 and towards the
He
sideline.
truly went out there and
This man
kicked
is
it,
crying.
man.
This man is crying.
Got real tears on his face right now.
I
I almost
I
feel
didn't
like,
think he
can
was
we
gonna
tag board
actually
that?
kick it, man.
Was that a
Oh,
tweet anywhere?
man.
It's game footage.
Yeah.
That was prior to tweet.
But
Oh,
so funny that he's. But Jay, here's the challenge of this week and why the Guardians are very lucky to have Terry Francona, because this 9-day stretch where you're playing essentially meaningless
8.
games, right? 8-game stretch. Well, you're playing essentially meaningless games. They are in the 3 seed. There's nothing they
They're
can
not
do to
gonna
change
change.
this, right?
Oh, man.
We know they're playing at home. The only thing undetermined is who they're playing, and they have no say in that.
Right.
So Terry Francona has to find a balance in the next 8 days, and it's a fine line between rest and rust.
That's exactly what I wrote down on my sheet.
Right? And that's
Exactly what
a
I wrote
tricky
down.
line to find, but because he has all this experience, you trust him to do it the right way.
Yeah. Well, what did I write?
Russ
Russ
versus
versus
Yeah.
Russ, that's what this is. And
Right.
you know what? There's no one I'd rather have guiding that
No
ship
one.
than Tito.
Nobody.
He's been there before. He understands it. I like that he played that game to win. I think he's going to play all of these games to win.
Right.
That doesn't mean he's not going to put some kids in
Right.
and give some guys rest.
Right.
But the one thing you don't want to do is limp into the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak. You don't
I
wanna
play to
do it.
win. The only thing is, I'm not using Clase on back-to-back days. I'm
Nope.
not going to do that. I'm not going to, if my starting pitcher is at 90-something pitches, I'll take him out an inning early. But for the most part, I'm playing to win these games.
I would not. Yeah, there's different def cons. If they were still fighting for the. By the way, the White Sox are 10 games behind the
crazy.
Guardians.
It's crazy now.
Is that not nuts?
Yeah.
They're 10 games out.
They was just
they
right
opened a
there.
series last week where they could have left with a 1-game deficit.
Yeah.
That's how quickly it goes.
And they the Guardians put their foots on the throats of the
Yeah.
Twins and the White Sox, and now they earn this rest
Right.
coming in. You don't want to manage these like they're all meaningful games and you got to win them to get into the playoffs.
Right.
You don't want to go pedal to the metal because you can throw your engine that way.
Right.
But you also don't want to take your foot completely off the gas because you can sputter into the playoffs.
Right.
I would
You don't want to
say
treat them as spring training
you want
games.
to manage these games as if it's the middle of the season. You want to win them.
Right.
But there's nothing
But
that's
not at all
urgent.
costs,
Nothing
yes.
is your hair's on fire. So you want to use Class A not as often as you might have in a pennant race or a
Right.
stretch run, but you don't want him to sit there and go 4 days without any work at all
right.
either.
That's
and
right.
I think look, whatever we say here doesn't matter. Terry knows exactly how to navigate these waters because he's done it.
Yeah.
He's been there, and I think that he's going to do the right thing. And this team, I said yesterday, the hardest thing in baseball to do is to play on the edge of greatness for more than a month. We've seen teams, we've seen Guardians and Indians teams in the past. The Guardians are doing it right now. They're 20-4 in their last 24. They're on the edge of greatness right now. You can't stay there for 2 months. It's too big of an ask.
Right.
So I'm okay with this 8-game stretch.
Yep.
Win 4, lose 4. You don't want to go 1-7. You don't. I also don't think you want to go 7-1.
Right.
Because if you go 7-1, that means over your last 35 games, you lost 4 times.
I'd still rather them go 7-1 than 1-7.
I'm with you on that because you don't want to have to, rinse out your mouth with a bad taste of 1-7.
Have a nice 4-4, get to 90 wins, and let's go to the playoffs.
Perfect. That is absolutely where you want to finish. That's where you want to finish. And,
Dave.
Okay, before we bring in Dave, one thing I wanted to look at, which we haven't really talked about, and Dave, we'll be right with you. Do we know, is it more likely than not that the Mariners are going to finish in that 3 spot?
They're in the 3 spot now.
What's the difference between them, Toronto, and Tampa Bay?
They're a game and a half behind Tampa, but only 1 in the loss column.
Okay, I said the team that scares me is Tampa. They just do. Cash has played very well. He's managed very well. They're friends. You said the Guardians can't control anything. The one thing they can control is making sure that they don't see Tampa Bay in the first round by losing the next 2. Not that Terry would tank.
I agree with you. I'd rather play Toronto than Seattle, but I don't think it's going to happen, especially because Seattle just got Suarez back, and they're probably going to get Julio Rodriguez back before the playoffs.
I thought they said they would have him back.
They would, yeah. They will.
Oh, I thought you said probably. I thought they've definitively said he.
I don't know if it's until he's back. I'm not going to say definitive, but they are expecting him back.
I want Seattle. I don't want Tampa Bay. Toronto, I would take Toronto too.
I agree, but it's probably not going to be Toronto.
All right, Dave, it's Waiver Wire Wednesday.
Fantasy football time.
We're basically going to go to viewers, right?
I finally won in this league, Dave.
I got a question.
I heard.
I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Do I start
sir.
Miles Sanders at my flex or Hunter Renfrow?
I don't know if Renfro's – yeah, I'm not sure if he's playing. He suffered a concussion 2 games ago against Arizona.
So you got to stay on top of
things. That's a 1 week thing.
I think it's going to end up being Sanders.
Yeah.
Well, they got him with points like he playing, so,
Okay, are we going to take questions from
We're take
viewers?
We got a couple coming in.
But I got a couple of questions for Dave
let's
first.
go with us first.
Dave, let's talk about the waiver wire here because this week it's big. We got some key injuries at running back, but we don't know for sure. So, obviously, it seems like David Montgomery's out this week. Obviously, DeAndre Swift's out for a while, but Jamal Williams is probably on a lot of teams already anyway. With the Bears, you got Khalil Herbert, who we've been talking about. I just traded for him yesterday. I've been trying to trade for him for weeks. I traded for him yesterday.
I'm curious. I just traded him away in a league. I'm curious what you gave up to get him.
I traded DeAndre Swift. It's a bigger trade. It's a bigger trade.
Who the hell took that trade, Brad?
Wait a second. Relax. It's not just DeAndre Swift. First of all, DeAndre Swift is out for at least a month. I traded DeAndre Swift and Juju Smith-Schuster for Mike Williams, Khalil Herbert, and Devin Singletary.
Wow, that's a mega deal.
Yo, why did you took that deal?
This guy, it's in my keeper league.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a keeper.
No, it's pretty close to fair. I think that's a fair deal. Pretty decent deal.
It's a fair deal.
Sure.
I don't trust Swift's injury. He was hurt a lot last year. I love him. He's great, but Anyway, but who are you taking of those run? You got Alexander Madison, although it looks like Dalvin Cook's going to play. What are we doing on the waiver wire? Because that's maybe the first time people spend big money here.
No, I got another one.
Well, first of all, if you've already missed out on Khalil Herbert and Jamal Williams and Alexander Madison, you're not going to like what's left on the waiver wire.
No.
We're talking about guys like J.D. McKissick or Samaje Perine. I still think it's worth trying to stash Brian Robinson, who might be back as soon as next week, as the lead running back for the Commanders. But I think instead of trying to get those guys off the waiver wire, if you can still find them, God bless you, trade for them. They're going to get moved a lot. You talked about, Bull, acquiring Khalil Herbert. Yeah. I traded Khalil Herbert away in a deal that got me Tyreek Hill. Again, not a one-for-one deal like you made.
Yeah.
But I traded – it was Khalil Herbert and Keenan Allen basically for Tyreek Hill.
Oh, my God,
great fine trade. About that type of a move. I think it's going to be fine. But I also think that if Montgomery's out for a long period of time, and there's a couple of internet doctors that say that he may have suffered a high ankle sprain. If that's the case, Herbert could be a league winner and somebody that you trade for on the cheap now or pick up off the waiver wire or even back in August, draft him and throw him on your bench and he ends up being the best running back in Chicago after all this season. He's got it in him. You saw it last week. He looked amazing. He looked pretty good in week 1 too. But I think you've got to pivot toward a wide receiver if you're trying to pick up guys off the waiver wire. Still out there in a bunch of leagues. Zay Jones with Jacksonville, Greg Dortch with Arizona, Isaiah McKenzie with the Bills. Those guys are going to continue to get picked up in a bunch of leagues. And I think they're all at least bench-worthy, if not flex-worthy. In full PPR, you can make the case for someone like Zay Jones or Greg Dortch ahead of, I don't know, Miles Sanders maybe.
Yeah. My only concern about Greg Dortch is once DeAndre Hopkins comes back. Is that you worried about that?
Of course, but
yeah.
I think Arizona's defense is terrible.
It is.
And I think their offense is going to have to throw quite a bit. And if James Conner goes, then they're not going to have much of a run game.
Yeah.
If that happens, which means it's going to all fall on Kyler's shoulders. And it could be a pass-heavy offense, much like we've seen from Buffalo and kind of sort of from Baltimore this season already. And if that's the case, then anybody who's getting targets in Arizona could be good. I think Hopkins' return will hurt Zach Ertz the most of anybody in Arizona. Dortch probably next after that, but it's 3 weeks away from happening. So picking up Greg Dortch now, you might be cutting him in 3 weeks, but in PPR, he should be good for at least 13 points a game.
All right, Dave, we got a couple internet questions.
G had a question.
Oh, sorry, G, go first then.
Matt Hollins.
Come on, G.
This guy, he's
as long as Renfro's out.
I mean, good gracious. I mean, he has the most targets over, Devontae Adams. Is that sustainable, or is that a 1 week wonder type thing?
I think it's going to be more of a 1 week wonder type thing than a sustainable thing. This guy's been in the league for a long time. He's had the potential for games like this, but he makes a lot of mistakes. He just didn't do that very much last week. When Renfro comes back, he's going to have that slot role locked up. I'm not sure how many targets will be there for Matt Collins, and it would be pretty crazy if Matt Collins is the guy that takes numbers away from Darren Waller and Devontae Adams this year. That's what we saw last week. I wouldn't count on it happening very often.
Hey, Dave, is this the best back-to-back? I mean, Lamar Jackson the last 2 weeks has had two of the most monstrous fantasy games ever. In this one high-scoring league I do, my keeper league, he's gotten over 70 points 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. I don't think that's ever happened for anybody 2 weeks in a row.
These leagues of yours are crazy. In normal mortal leagues that the rest of us play in, he's still getting 40 points plus. And that's
81.
And, I mean, he's a cheat code because he runs the ball so well, and the Ravens don't have a reliable run game. And I don't think they want one at this point. I think it's all going on Lamar's shoulders, and I think he keeps it going. He's probably the second hottest quarterback in fantasy right now behind Josh Allen. Allen just threw for 400 yards, and no one's talking about it. They're talking about Lamar Jackson and how great he's looked.
That's true.
And Jason has them both, which is wild. So
we blew that. Go ahead.
All right, time to tell us what the internet is asking. Dave, we got a bunch of questions for you, but whenever we ask the internet for advice or questions, it's brought to you by PCC Airfoils. Looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits? PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Mentor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up, plus full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. Apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. These are some stardom sit-ems, Dave.
Keep
Ready?
it moving.
Sure.
Keep it moving.
This from Kenny Miller, Darren Waller, or David Njoku?
Waller over Njoku. But I did listen, if he's going to keep getting those short area targets, he will be good for fantasy. I think it was really more of a coverage thing for Njoku and why he did so well. But Waller has more upside.
You know what? Let's drill down on that. What do you mean by that? Just he took advantage. The Browns took advantage of the coverage that they were seeing?
Basically, that what I was seeing is a defense in the Steelers that didn't want to give up the big play.
Right.
Spoiler, they did to Cooper, but they also didn't want to give up some runs. And bad news, they did. Chubb had a huge game.
Yeah.
And so when that's happening, it leaves the middle of the field open. Njoku was an easy target. It's not like he was running downfield very often. He was getting dink and dunk passes from Jacoby Brissett. And I think when they play defenses, and they're playing another one this week in the Atlanta Falcons, he's going to be available, and he'll be good for fantasy rosters.
All right, next question is from Marcel Pettiford. Joe Burrow or Kyler Murray?
Burrow is a top 4 quarterback for me this week. I think that the Bengals smash up the Dolphins. Remember, this Dolphins defense on the field for 92 snaps last Sunday in the heat, emotional win. Now they're on the road on a short week. I think the Bengals have their way with them.
Next question is from Browns fan 69. Full PPR flex spot. Tyler Lockett.
Is that Winovich?
Chill.
Tyler Lockett, Dameon Pierce, or Devonta Smith?
Dameon Pierce had a nice game
Yeah,
last
he
week.
did.
Yeah.
So did Devonta Smith.
He did. And Devontae Smith had a nice game, too. I think I would go with Smith, especially because it's PPR, just by a nose over Lockett, and both of them ahead of Pierce because it's full PPR.
And lastly, this is from Benjamin Perichin. Amari Cooper, Drake London, or DK Metcalf for my wide receiver 2 this week.
I think London is probably still the best way to go. I certainly love what I've seen from Amari Cooper. I just don't know if I can trust all those targets to be there.
Tyvis was just asking me, Dave, Khalil Herbert or Kareem Hunt. I told him Khalil Herbert this week, right?
Yeah, as long as Montgomery's out,
Not
that's
playing,
the easy
yeah.
answer. Yeah. The nice thing about Hunt is he's getting 15 touches a week, but if he doesn't score, he's going to struggle. And Atlanta, for what it's worth, they're pretty okay against the run. They haven't really been tested. I think they'll get tested more by Chubb than they will by Kareem.
All right, Dave. Good stuff as always, buddy.
Appreciate it, Dave.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Dave.
it.
Thanks, brother.
You
Waiver
got
wire
it, guys.
Wednesday.
Good luck in your leagues this week.
Dave
Thanks,
Blanchard.
Dave.
Bull,
Dave.
Bull, you finally got off the schneid.
I got off the
You got
schneid.
the win. Who'd you beat?
Anthony. He's in dead last.
Well,
G. Bush.
At least it's not
G.
you.
Bush beat me.
Did Brad win again? Is
No, Jason beat him.
Brad- okay. Who? You're 3-0.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what it is.
I think G's in first because tiebreaker. He's got more points than Jason.
No, Jason's
just
in
won
first.
about
I
2
played
points.
Jason this week, and he's got the one next to
Okay.
him. So
I played
I'm
10.
middle of the pack, even though my record's 1 and 2. I got good points.
Austin Hedges is getting thumped
Man.
down there.
Yeah, he's dead last.
0-3, bro. What is going
Man,
on?
Do you have the least amount of points also, Anthony? No. Who's got the least?
we'll look it up in a sec.
Okay.
But while we do that,
Yeah.
let's hang out with Isaiah Mobley for a second.
Yes,
Get another
do it.
60 seconds
60
with Isaiah
ticks.
Mobley, who was a lot of fun. Let's talk to
All right,
Isaiah. Let's take
see
it.
this. The other Mobley.
Yes.
Another 60 seconds from Cavs Media Day, this time with Isaiah Mobley. Isaiah, favorite movie of all time?
Training Day.
Ooh.
If someone was to play Isaiah Mobley in a movie, which actor's playing the role?
Will
Denzel.
Smith.
I was going to say
Favorite
Will Smith.
wrestler
I
of
thought you
all
was going
time?
to say Denzel because he just mentioned
Jeff
training
Hardy.
day.
If you didn't play basketball, what sport would you play?
I would play football.
What position?
Tight end.
Would anyone be able to stop you on a red zone 3rd and 7 fade route?
No, I just put in the air. I can handle it, I think.
You a Browns fan yet?
I'm becoming one. Been a couple games, and I'm enjoying it. I love the fans here.
What's the dog pound like?
They're exciting. They get going. They get rowdy, and I love it.
Favorite vacation spot?
The Bahamas.
Iced coffee, hot coffee?
Tea for me, actually.
A tea drinker, who would have thought? 2 more there. Best way to cook a potato?
Fry it.
Once again, the right answer, 2 for 2. And last but not least, dream dinner guest. You get 2 of them. Who you taking? And you can't say your brother, your family.
Right. I'll probably take Denzel Washington, and then I would pick Denzel Washington, and I'll say Jay-Z.
Wow. It's the first time we actually did 60 seconds in 60 seconds. That's Isaiah Mobley, Cavs rookie. Thanks, Isaiah.
Oh.
Oh, he went for the professional grab.
Yeah.
He went for the program.
Yeah, he
Hey,
learned.
wait till y'all
He
see the
learned.
Dap with Donovan tomorrow. Dap with Smooth with Donovan.
Well,
By the way,
Can we do, so when we're all done, we need to get some sappy music and just do
All
the
the daps.
handshakes.
All the
handshakes.
we could put it together.
by the way, a couple of odd things out of that. Number one, I don't
Who
know.
knew that he,
Who knew what?
when he goes, what was it, coffee or drink? He goes, who knew that you were a tea drinker? Like, because I never spent 1 second thinking
So
about that.
stunned about him being a tea drinker.
I was
Number two, there were at least 2 times where I thought Mike was going to smash the microphone into his mouth.
I was too. I was worried you were going to
was
knock
close.
a tooth out.
Listen. This is not my first rodeo.
I know,
here,
but it
guys.
was close.
You were just flinging it around like,
Well-
oh, God, he's going to hit him.
Listen, when you guys hear his audio sounded great because
Yeah.
I almost hit him. Donovan's tomorrow. A little.
Yeah.
Listen,
The mic was over here.
there's a little, there's certain guys you could screw up their teeth if you hit them with it, and you're probably okay.
Yeah, not Donovan
Mitchell. I'm not
Mitchell.
getting banned, so we
Oh
can
my
boost
God.
Donovan's
How
audio
was Donovan
tomorrow.
Mitchell 60 seconds? Was that good?
You'll hear tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yes, he had a blast. He was a good time with us.
By the way, I'm
his answer, I asked him, I'm not going to tell you what he said, but I asked him if you could have any animal as a sidekick, what animal would you pick as your sidekick and why? His answer's phenomenal.
By the way,
That's good.
you
It's a
know,
good question, too.
Thank you very much.
2 other things. One, I'll call myself out on this. For some insane reason, I was expecting him to talk with a foreign accent. I have no idea why.
He's from Los Angeles, bro.
I know that.
Well,
There's no reason.
There at all.
I don't know why.
You know his family members.
I know that.
That's so weird.
I'm just calling myself out on it. It makes no sense. I have no reason for that. I don't know why in my brain I was expecting a
Do you
foreign
think he was
accent.
Australian?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I know his brother. I've heard him talk.
That's
he has no
interesting.
accent.
Well,
I just, for
you
some
owned
reason,
it.
and I had to share that with you, even though it's embarrassing.
I'm glad you
I
did.
keep it real.
Yeah, you do keep it
Number
real.
2, we need to at some point have pick like who would play all of us in a movie. Everybody on the team.
Yeah, go.
Right? Like we can't do that in a minute here, but like we need to have a thorough conversation about
My father would play me in a movie, Denzel Washington.
Oh, that's your dad, huh? Yep. I thought so.
People confuse me with him all the time.
Because you look just like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Denzel's son is an actor,
Yeah, that's my brother.
and he actually
John.
He's a good
He played
actor.
football.
John
he
Davis.
played college football, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
He was in Ballers.
Yeah.
I stopped watching Ballers, by the way.
I stopped watching it too.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It got
but he was
lame
in it.
after a while. It was good in the beginning.
It was.
It got lame
It was
after a
good.
while.
This guy, he's crazy.
Who
Denzel
you
Washington.
talking about, Byron Leftwich?
Man, hey,
Is Byron Leftwich playing?
I still think he's more Warren Sapp.
Yeah, you know,
when he
I
drops
see
the
more Warren
glasses and
Sapp,
puts in
yeah.
the dip, I mean, it is dead on.
No.
Warren Sapp.
well, you know, he said Denzel Washington.
That's my father.
That's like me saying Brad Pitt. He gonna play me. Give me Matthew McConaughey. What?
Listen, I was out at the grocery store, and this lady walked up to me and said, "Oh my God, you're that guy who played that coach in that famous high school."
Yeah,
movie."
she's just a racist. She
I was-
thinks all black people look alike. Come on now. What do you look nothing like him.
Hey, bro, you can
And
stop
I
the
said-
train.
And by the way, he's 40 years older than
My
you.
father.
Wow, what's Denzel doing in the Trader Joe's in Columbus? What are the odds?
He's
Come
40
on.
years older than
Come
you.
on now, you know that you probably was the only brother in the store.
Just
You
saying.
was Denzel Washington. You was Jay-Z.
see-
Michael Jordan.
Michael
You see,
Jordan.
What are you doing here, man?
Listen,
Jay
Michael.
me and my brother, we almost got the same beard.
Is that
going on.
Jesse
This is
Smollett?
in the family.
Faking them attacks.
That was a
We
good
just
one.
end the show there. We should just end the show right there.
Bull is down.
Bulls down.
Bulls
on
down.
the floor. Hey,
Look at
Jay,
those
gotta
sexy Brooks, bro. Look at those sexy Brooks right now getting some airtime.
It's an N1 mixtape. When somebody get a move off, throw the ball in the stands. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Oh, bull down.
We done shut it down.
Bull down.
Hey, here comes the AI step over just because I told Anthony to do it.
I'm all right.
Give him that.
Just step over.
My God.
Austin Hedges was just towering over you, bro.
Bro.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Gotta
crazy.
go.
I hope the IFB didn't break. We don't have an extra one, Bo.
Oh,
He can't hear you because it broke.
did it fall out?
He's like, what are you talking about? I don't hear
It
anything.
probably just came unplugged.
Okay, good.
Lord.
No, it's plugged in, and maybe I don't know.
You'll never get that back. That was one
No,
of your
the
best
speaker
ever.
came undone.
That was one of your
Come
best
here,
joints
Bull.
of all time.
What came on? I
Walk
can't.
over.
No, it's
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, you pulled the wire out of the speaker, so you're not going
I
to hear
pulled the
anything for a
wire
minute.
out of the speaker, huh?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's
All
what
right.
we're dealing
Well,
with.
it's all right.
We'll fix it
Mike,
afterwards.
just speak loudly. I can hear you.
We have any final takes that we're dying to do? Or
No,
do we end
after
it
that,
on,
I got
we end
nothing
it
to
right
say.
there?
I've got a 1 o'clock shoot.
We
so-
gotta go.
I think we ended on the Jesse comment. Bull,
Yeah,
you,
that was
you win
that's
today,
the
Bull.
walk-off comment.
Walk off.
Bro, you know what? You know what happened? Let's recap today's show. What happened on today's show is Bull definitely actually got Tyvis to say that he would rather have Jacoby Brissett over Joe Burrow. It was the quintessential Perry Mason moment.
Panicked.
And then he dropped the mic by calling you Jesse Smollett. Like it's a wrap.
He bullied me today. That's what
He
she
did
said.
bully you. You got bullied.
By the way, I want Ving Rhames to play me in a movie. Let's go.
Hey, tomorrow we got Maurice, we got Aditi, we got fence questions. It's also our 100th show tomorrow.
Yeah!
Make sure you buy T-shirts tomorrow. We're gonna wrap up the show with some of the best moments through the first.
How many subscribers do we have now?
We already hit 15,000, so just keep
Wow.
subscribing. We want to hit 1 million. So
1 million? Is that our goal?
eventually, yeah, we're gonna hit 10 million at some point.
I'm
but
thinking
slowly
by
but surely.
2096 we should be at somewhere around a
Yep.
million.
And we are throwing out the first pitch at the Guardians game. Hang out with us on Sunday for the first half with the hang.
Yes.
Post
Oh,
game
yeah.
show after, so you're gonna get more of us than you get Browns. And guys, we made it through 99 shows. Let's not screw it up for tomorrow.
I will come to work tomorrow provided that I get a Built Bar and I want to eat it live on the air. Everybody's tried one but me.
I ain't had one.
You should. Yes,
Live on the air tomorrow. I want to try one.
Go for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go, Jay.
22-hour break. We will see you back here
Love
tomorrow
it.
on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
I'll make sure I tune
The
in.
professional turned into the click.
Like it did.
It turned into the click. You never go pro grip to click.
He had claws.
That was a tight handshake. Y'all just jealous.